treble 17, gets treble 17 for his beloved top switches. Just bailed him out so many times in his career.
Crazy. No matter what he does, because Brooks can put it away here.
Spectacular. That is how to do it, Bradley Brooks. Types of finishes that Adam's getting left. It's a good attempt on the last one. Even better attempt this time. Adam Lipscombe, what a finish. He leads 2 legs to 1. Spectacular performance. He's gone up another level tonight as Andreas Harrison. And for that record, Andreas Harrison. What a performance. 104.86. 152 in the previous match from Lipscombe. We see it also from Jeff Smith. Beautiful. Outstanding. I'm beginning to run out of superlatives here with some of the finishing that we're seeing.
Good evening, welcome along to the live lounge here in Portsmouth for the final night of qualification here at Modus Super Series Double Trouble 2, and it has been a day littered with drama already here on the South Coast. That's not just because Glenn Durrant's changed his wardrobe. Great to see you here on this Friday night, but this afternoon, goodness me, was it littered with drama?
Yeah, drama is probably the word I was trying to search for as we were talking about Group C there. Just that incredible scenario where a guy who's only lost 1 leg on a Thursday tops the table, 5 wins out of 5, and then doesn't qualify against a player we labelled Cat with 9 lives.
In terms of Ted Evans, he was kind of saying in the interview he didn't know how he got through. Is it just a case of now he is through, just going back and just refreshing the mind a bit?
It surely at the back of his mind he's thinking, this is my tournament now, because like I said, so many times he was up against it. It was actually a good performance against Scott Mitchell, but that double 3 there, he was very aggressive with it, and that realisation of what he's done probably kicked in round about then. And for Scott Mitchell, he looks stunned.
Well, Ted Evans joins a very, shall we say, charismatic Richie Burnett into tomorrow night's final. It was one of the most intriguing studio chats we've ever had here at the Super Series. Them two join Neil Duff into the finals tomorrow evening. We'll find out the final 3 identities from the 5 players in the middle of your screen who are going to be in Group B action this evening. It's a Group B which at the halfway point is led by Andreas Harrison. He won all 4 of his matches on Thursday evening, and he broke the record for an average here at Double Trouble, an average of in excess of 104, and he really was relentless last night.
Yeah, he was incredible. This 116 obviously to see out there as well. Ice going through the veins, is what we've sort of labelled this Scandinavian superstar. I mean, I've known Andreas a long time. I remember playing him at the Swedish Open, and you think, round about 40-odd-year-old, where's he going to go from here? He just seems to be getting better with age, and like many of the players at the Modus Super Series, he adores that stage, and the double start has proven no such issue. He was superb last night.
So Andreas Harrison is on 8 points in the group. The way the rest of the group divvies down, so you've got a couple of players on 4, a couple of players on 2. Smith and Brooks, the 2 players that are on 4 points. Let's talk about Bradley and assess his evening yesterday. Yes, he got 4 points on the board, but will he feel that maybe there was a few left out there?
He looked a little bit flat, when you win a couple of games that open up. I mean, he wasn't great in these games, but a beautiful way to end the match with Jeff Smith. I mean, that's what Bradley Brooks can do. I mean, he's a former World Youth Champion. He's an exceptional player, but he just maybe might use the fact that Ted Evans is a travel buddy. I think they're staying at the same hotel. He might use him as his motivation to get through tonight.
When you were at your pomp in the BDO, you and Jim Williams are very good friends, but also very much at the top of those BDO world rankings. How important was it when Jim did well that you did well? How much did that actually play off with one another?
And Ted's the type of guy who's probably gone back to have a little bit of food with Bradley before he come out tonight to try and rally him around. That's the type of personality that Ted Evans has. He does think of others alongside himself. And like I said, maybe just to kick up the backside for Bradley Brooks. It's a big prize they're playing for this week, and he needs to show it on that stage.
Right, let's have a look at the stats from yesterday evening. These are how the players have been doubling in and doubling out. And as you can see, Andreas Harrison to the left of your screen, his stats in comparison to everybody else were pretty much night and day.
That's World Grand Prix standard. I mean, that's PDC professional standard from Andreas. That's how good he was last night. And a couple of things that stand out there. Jeff Smith was and Bradley Brooks, actually. They didn't seem to have a plan when checking in. They were going for one double, then they were flying round the board. Hopefully they'd sort of come up with something like that. And for Adam Lipscombe, he just put himself in great positions each time. Just couldn't check out. So it was a funny old night. He looked disappointed, Adam, when I spoke to him earlier, but all to play for tonight.
Is that where Andreas Harrison is now as a player? Is that where he's at? World class?
I think he's, when we talk about the best amateur players who haven't got a card, he's in that top 5. He's got a wonderful attitude, and his application when he's here, he's a really dedicated player now, and still bright things ahead.
Right, let's have a look at the table going into tonight's proceedings. Andreas Harrison leading with 8 points to his name. Smith and Brooks on 4. Lipscombe and Thornton on 2. So that's how the table looks following the first day's play. Let's see what the bookies think about proceedings. Harrison going off a heavy favourite 1-6. They've pretty much gone in table order. Pretty much no surprises there.
Yeah, I mean, in relation to the outright odds, they don't often get it too far wrong. Though they got it wrong with Scott Mitchell today. It was odds on going into the Group C campaign. We both feel Adam Lipscombe's got more to come. His opening game against Bradley Brooks could be really important. And the effervescent Robert Thornton's had his chances this week. He was excellent in Group A. He just seemed to be flagging a little bit. He's been suffering a little bit with a bad back, though he didn't show it there. He could play a big role. There's still a case for all 5.
18 plus, begambleaware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series this evening. And it is Bradley Brooks that's going to get us underway on this Friday night. Bam Bam needs a big night at the office if he's going to join his mate Super Ted in the Saturday night showdown here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And earlier on this evening, I caught up with a Blackburn boy. Bradley, solid enough first night for yourself in Double Trouble. How would you reflect upon it overall?
Yeah, I'll take the 2 wins. It's a tough group with some good players in there. Felt like I didn't really get out of first gear at all last night, so I think I underperformed a little bit, but I was just happy to get the 2 wins.
Can you put your finger as to why it never quite correlated, or was it just one of them nights?
I just couldn't get off, could I? But no, I don't know, I felt a bit flat, and I think I was trying a bit too hard, and I'm getting frustrated with missing so many doubles to get in. So, yeah, hopefully if you can start off tonight, getting in nice and early, it should be a lot better for me today.
So in terms of playing double in, double out darts, there's a lot of it about discipline and keeping yourself disciplined, particularly if you're not getting off straight away. Yeah,
it is, because it's not like if you lose a leg, you shouldn't do like in normal 5-1 because you can just tap the treble then, but double in, double out, you've got to try and stay so relaxed or not wind yourself up missing doubles, but I think I did all right last night, not getting myself knocked off, but yeah, I need to get off a bit quicker tonight.
It's very tight in your portion of the table. It's a lot about tonight taking as many points off of those around you as possible.
Yeah, I just take each game as it comes. I think I'm lucky to be third with the way I played last night, so I've got a good start, and as long as I can keep winning tonight, I should be all right.
You've got a good record in regulation weeks here now at the Super Series. Is that something you can draw upon?
Yeah, you can. Like you said, most times I've been here, I've had quite good success getting on Saturdays, winning a week here. So somewhere I enjoy playing, and I tend to play well here as well.
Ted's here already tomorrow night. Does that put a bit of pressure on because you're good mates here?
No, it's not pressure. It'd be nice for us both to be in tomorrow night. But he did well today to get through, so I'm hoping to follow what he did today and get through tonight.
We wish you well, Bradley. Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
And Bradley in action against Andreas Harrison in the first game of the evening session of the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. This is a battle of first and third in the league standings. Harrison winning each of his 4 matches on Thursday night. The 1-6 favourite to go on and win this group. A man who's won a series here in 2024, the Series 7 champion. He comes here with a big reputation, but it's a reputation that he's built up himself because of superb performances here over the last 18 months. Well, Sir Bradley Brooks, the World Youth Champion in 2020, this year's been about trying to rekindle those memories and rekindle that kind of form. And there has been glimpses of that as the years headed towards its culmination, as we head into the business months, the autumn months. He's won a week. He's come close to winning weeks as well. He is brewing up nicely. Talking about brews, this man makes a lovely cup of tea. Does Paul Hinks. But he is in charge of all of the action this evening. And watching all of the action this evening, it is the former Premier League champion and the former World Grand Prix semi-finalist, Glenn Durrant.
40. Yeah, when I looked at the draw yesterday, the times, I thought it was a really tough start for Jeff Smith. He had 2 very tough games in the opening 3, and I see that also. It's a roles reversal because it's Bradley Brooks this
60.
time. He's got the danger man in Andreas Hauser's only looking for one win to guarantee qualification. Though when I mentioned that in the interview late last night or early hours this morning,
140.
I said I don't want to hear that.
It's actually quite interesting that since the last session, I have been in conversation with a couple of the Group C
43.
players. And if it gets to tight points of team, one thing we always talk about is permutation of whether players know. Now, in the afternoon session, Richie Burnett did not want to see the table. And so the table
66.
was not shown at any point in the practice room throughout the duration of the Group C session, unless it was shown up on our monitor or our screen that you can see at home.
115.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think Scott Mitchell was asking about the league, going against the grain of what happened to him on the Monday,
95.
Tuesday, Wednesday when he was just going to focus on playing his game. So that's an interesting ploy there. I think someone like Matthew Edgar would have switched it back on because he
95.
uses that as a
Andreas Sukar,
get under the skin of
160.
some of the players.
Well, he's got to try and find some way, isn't he? Harrison looking to find a way of winning leg one. And that would have equalised the biggest finish that we've seen so far this week. Henderson with the 160 in Group C yesterday is as big as what we've seen so far. But he's given us as big an average as we've seen
87.
so far in the history of this competition. 104.86 last night. And he's off to a quick start here. And Brooks is being left in the lurch in leg one.
94.
Yeah, we
Andreas
went through all the
Sukar,
records at the
73.
World Grand Prix as well, and it's the equal second best double stars. And it was this type of darts, this type of finishing
65.
to be.
Bradley Sukar,
An
94.
outside chance over Brooks. Decision to start treble 18 or bullseye. He went aggressive and it's paid off. 2 darts at tops.
Down for double 10. Well, he's had 2 opportunities
74.
to win a leg that
Andreas
perhaps
Sukar,
he
8.
had no right to win. And Harrison will come back for 2 fours.
Yeah, you think he has to be almost perfect against Andres at the moment. Though Andres Harrison can be brilliant
Score.
one day,
Bradley Sukar, 20.
not so good the next, like many dart players, in an unexpected return for Bradley Brooks.
You don't get many chances like this against Andreas Harrison. So when they come, you have to pick them apart. Up for double 5. In it
He's on the
goes.
first
Brooks
leg.
breaks,
Bradley
but
Brooks.
it's apparent straight away that he is cutting a frustrated figure.
Second leg,
Is
Bradley
bam
to through
bam.
first.
When you talk about the
Come on.
permutations as well, I'm sure that the other players in the players' area is probably looking for an Andreas win. Let him run away with things and let us fight for 2 other places. So a win here for Bradley Brooks could
No
be
score.
a real statement for intent.
Bradley will move about in terms of starting doubles if things don't correlate. He's more than happy to move along to the double 12.
score.
We've seen a little bit of stubbornness from players when it's come to where they start off in a leg, but he pins the tops first time there.
63.
This was a bit of a low-key affair yesterday. Andreas won 3-1, but you could tell it was the last game of a long night for the pet.
60.
And if the truth be told, they've started off this evening in the same vein that they ended the evening in this particular fixture at around about 1 a.m.
174.
Yeah, the scoring was really good last night. Just some checkouts that went awry, very similar to that first leg, which has destroyed the averages in this game. Now it's quite simply
96.
the 2 points that Andreas needs to qualify, or Bradley Brooks becomes a firm favourite to qualify with victory over Andreas here. And he will be back game 3, Bradley.
But there is a possibility that this could be over very
58.
quickly the way the fixtures pan out. Brooks wins this one. Smith plays Thornton next, and then Bradley will return in match 3 against Adam Lipscombe. The way the table looks at before a dart was thrown, Harrison was on 8 points. Brooks
45.
and Smith were on 4. Lipscombe and Thornton on 2. There was a possibility the way the first fixtures correlated that things could be either really tight or the 5 players may have a bit of separation
100.
in the table. But Brooks here, looking at 106 with a 2-0 lead. He broke in the first leg when he had no right to, but he's been the dominant player in leg 2.
95. Bradley Sukar, 106.
Treble 18 will be the shot. And double 16 for a big 2-0 lead.
74.
No dramas. Harrison way back on 205. A bizarre start to the night with the Swede.
Uncharacteristically slow start for Andreas.
100.
So Brooks will return for double
52.
16 to double his lead in this match. And he'll probably be as surprised as anybody else that nothing's really being thrown back at him. But what can he see of that? Maybe a little bit towards the bottom side. Went
No
top
score.
side. Either way, he couldn't
Andreas
find
Shurkar,
the intended target.
105.
I'm even going to say this is definitely going to go the way this week has gone. However, that is not ideal. The way this week has gone, where players have never been in
45,
legs and a
Bradley
match can just
52.
change on 3 darts. Bradley Brooks is getting away with something here. But he still has to check it
Each
out
on
and
the
does that.
second
He
leg,
leads
Bradley
2-0
Brooks.
despite not playing anywhere near his best. But
Third leg,
Henry,
Andreas to throw first.
what a
Game on.
strange start it is for Andreas Harrison.
Bradley Brooks is leading 2-0 despite throwing 44 darts in this match.
160.
Yeah, go figure, Andreas.
$100.
Better from both.
Well, doubling off in this game hasn't been too bad.
121.
But it's been towards the latter end of legs where both players have had sizable troubles. Matter of fact, in the first 2 legs of this game,
81.
there's been a combined 14 missed darts and a double to win a leg. But this is much better.
140.
Andreas Harrison here is on for a potential 11-dart leg after a sluggish start, which saw him throw 44 darts and not win a leg.
85. Andreas Shurkar, 80.
From absolutely nowhere. It is on throw, so Bradley won't be panicking just yet. But for a 12-darter,
70.
Sometimes when your opponent's not going to finish, the worst dart you can have is going inside on double 10.
81.
The worry for Bradley
Andreas
is he's
Shurkar,
playing at the same
10.
level, but Andreas has woken up a little bit. But there's still an apparent
No
problem
score.
in terms of
Shurkar,
finishing off a leg.
154.
This for the match.
yeah, this is from a player who had a record average yesterday. He's probably practiced exactly the same, prepared the same.
26. Andreas Shurkar, 10.
He's missed 8 darts and a double to finish off a leg as Andreas Harrison. And the misses continue.
6. Bradley Shurkar, 128.
This should have been so much further down for Bradley. He'll start in the 18s on 128. Can still finish.
Unable to find the treble, and so
63.
Andreas Harrison's
Andreas Shurkar,
latest
4.
attempt at a double to win a leg is down at double 2. Can he clip that over the top? It was an
Each
inviting
on the
guide and he
third leg,
utilised it.
Andreas Harrison.
Yeah, for many people, that's an awkward dart at that double 2, but
Fourth leg, Bradley to throw first. Game on.
the way his darts sit, if he was going to miss, that was almost perfect. Bradley Brooks hasn't started this match yet. For me, his biggest 3 darts are now.
No score.
Missed opportunity. Will it be punished?
You bet it does. It's actually the first time really we've seen Bradley persevere
120.
on a double target, and his perseverance didn't pay dividends. This time he changed his MO, and it means a change of
25.
fortune. And again, the volatility of the best of 5 format could come to the fore here, where
95.
Brooks was 2-0 up and you're thinking, right, a leg away from getting over the line, but then in the space of a leg and a bit, he could find himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Bradley's got the legs on the ball, but right now,
80.
a lot of clever people of the game will think Andreas Harrison is favourite for this match. He would have the darts in the last leg. He's 100 plus these. Find the treble with ease now.
100.
And remember, Andreas only needs 1 win tonight to qualify through to tomorrow evening's final. Group B simple permutations. If everybody's won a game, then 10 points is enough to send you through. Bradley Brooks hits the night's first maxi.
Yes, the legend that is Paul Hinks, just taking his time, making sure of that.
Pausing for dramatic effect.
100.
Another 180 from Bradley Brooks here would be nice.
$140. Andreas got 86.
Critical moments here for both players. Been an incredibly big win this for Bradley Brooks. But it's 7-7 for Harrison for 2-2. That's what he can do.
Andreas Harrison.
As clinical as it gets. Brooks perhaps was fancying an opportunity for the match, and then he realises he hasn't got the darts in the final leg and trudges back to the drinks table, hoping that Andreas kicks off dry. And he may well get his wish. He does get his wish.
No score.
I thought that was an incredible reaction there from Bradley Brooks, that realisation. But when he sees the fact that Andreas has gone dry, something you don't expect from the Swede.
46.
And again, what a chance. That stunning first start. It has to be accelerated from there.
Well, because it took
59.
Andreas a couple of darts in that visit to get off, Bradley may have got away with it. But he needs to score big here.
60.
What you'd call a well-crafted 60.
100.
Yeah, this is in the balance. Trebles needed for Bradley. There's one.
134.
There's the other. Fair play to them both, but nothing to separate. 80 points and finding the treble.
Andreas Harrison is the darting equivalent
85.
of having sand stuck in your shoe. You just cannot get rid of it. And you just cannot get rid of him.
41.
And suddenly the advantage Brooks has had in this leg has been whittled away.
$100.
I tell you what, Bradley will be extremely disappointed if he doesn't get over the winning line here.
Should have down for the 25 and bullseye. That was the
27.
intention, not the
Andreas Sakar,
execution.
157.
But remember, Andreas Harrison was 2-0 down in this match. And he could well win it here. Oh, tops. And Andreas Harrison is into tomorrow night's final with ease. From 2-0 down, he gets the better of Bradley Brooks by 3 legs to 2. And the former Super Series champion is a double trouble finalist. Andreas Harrison, with a minimum of fusses there, he can relax and he could be the spoiler for everybody else. Come the end of the evening, he's already spoiled Bradley Brooks' night, which has got off to the worst possible start after getting off to the best possible start. Harrison 3, Brooks 2 at the end of game 1. Coming up after the break is a meeting of Canada and Scotland as Jess Smith takes on Robert Thornton.
And welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where it's game 2. And already we've seen another qualifier for Saturday night. No surprise to many. He won 4 out of 4 yesterday. But it wasn't the sparkling performance that he provided yesterday. But Andreas Harrison, from 2-0 down, got over the winning line against a frustrated Bradley Brooks. A missed opportunity for the man from Blackburn, you feel. He is back in the next game, and that will be a huge one. For Jeff Smith and Robert Thornton, it's exactly the scoreline they probably wanted. They can let Andreas run away with things. And Jeff Smith, fair play to him yesterday. He had that tough start of 2 games in the opening 3 games, losing them both. But he bounced back very nicely. And Robert Thornton, you already feel it's a bit of a long week. He was embroiled in some fantastic games in the Group A campaign. Once again, I'm just looking at his sort of body language there. He was suffering a little bit with a bad back. No effects as we watched him last night, but he has to get him. Both players. Big opportunity for Jeff Smith is the way I read it, Henry.
So let's take Jeff to
Yeah,
through
for
first.
Jeff, he's seen his closest rival in this group, Bradley Brooks,
Game
go
on.
down, and so here's an opportunity to open up a temporary 4-point gap on Adam Lipscombe in 4th position. He'll kick off on double 18 to begin legs. And then head down
32.
for double 16 and get up and running with his 3rd dart. We know Robert Thornton will persevere on tops. It was a double that helped him out so much when he won that World Grand Prix
40.
title, incredibly, almost a decade ago now at the City West Hotel in Dublin. 80-1 outsider to win that particular tournament. He's a
100.
bit of an outsider to win this group, but Thornton won't care about that. He'll just care about getting through to tomorrow night's final, where his record in terms of qualifying is as good as any
99.
player we've ever seen here at the Super Series, but is still yet to win a week.
Yeah, I think he just gets prepared for that question every series.
100.
Jeff Smith was my pick before the dart was thrown. I was getting a little nervous when he lost his first 2 games yesterday. I think he's got all the skills. I haven't been that impressed with his checking in, to be
58.
fair. I don't think he really had a plan. I don't think I'm keen on these players who are flinging the darts from one place to the next. But his scoring power looks as good as anybody's this week.
Yeah, checked in at 29% yesterday, did Jeff. Thornton
97.
checking in at 27%, so it's been taking these players a few turns to the ball to get up and running in legs by and large.
And if we look at Robert Thornton, 27%. And
26. Jeff
overall,
Yugar, 92.
in the Group A, it was over 40%. Double 16. Beautiful
Big shoulder
start for
first
Jeff
leg.
Smith.
Jeff Smith.
Nice 14 darter to kickstart for the
Second leg,
silencer,
Robert
who will
to
be
throw
hoping to
first.
do what
Game
his namesake suggests, just quietly go under the radar and sneak through.
Yeah, a lot of the Canadians have done well at the Modus Super Series, haven't they, Henry?
Yeah, Jacob Taylor, former series finalist. Lost out
100.
to Luke Littler, no less, in the Series 3 finale. However, it's one of those
No score.
weird statistical anomalies as far as Canada is concerned, because it has had a player in Champions Week before,
41.
but that was because Jacob Taylor was an alternate qualifier. It was only until Jim Long won in the previous series did we actually have a Canadian winner of a week.
No score.
A new double to attack there for Jeff Smith.
45.
But after 9 darts, Robert Thornton's still only on 3-1-5. One big check in here for Jeff Smith. He's decided that tops is now the new route. He's gone 18s, he's gone 16s,
40.
15s, and now tops. I think if something is going to derail Jeff Smith this week, it is that checking in.
Well, at the beginning of the year,
100.
Matthew Edgar said that Jeff Smith could win a series, let alone win a week, win a series. So far, his record here at the Live Lounge may not be as strong as perhaps he would have
140.
liked it to have been. Made a semi-final on his first appearance. It was a week that was eventually won by Bradley Roos. Lost out to his fellow Canadian David Cameron in the semi-finals. And then a quarter-final appearance in the
141.
last series. That was actually won by his fellow compatriot Jim Long in the end. This is 3rd appearance across a regular cycle and a
95.
Specials
Robert Carr,
event.
74.
Great response here from Robert Thornton.
58.
He will be back. Those problems that Jeff had at the beginning of this leg, not being able to get off.
$100. Robert, your car, 16.
Keeps himself on the periphery. Is Thornton going to give him a chance? Yes, is the answer. They both kiss the wire, but neither find a way in.
26.
Yeah, he loves double fours, Robert Thornton. Unexpected opportunity for Jeff Smith, not taken.
86.
Expect Thornton
Robert,
to
you
get
can't
this double
eight.
four.
Getting shot on the
An
second leg.
expectation
Robert
becomes
Thornton.
reality as Robert Thornton levels his match up at 1 apiece.
Third leg, Jeff, to throw first. Game on.
So it's going with darts so far.
Well, the dynamic of this group is Jeff Smith decides to go down for double 15
30.
and finds the double 15, something a little bit different there. The dynamic of this group is such now that there's almost a
61.
table of 4 players and only 2 can get through. Andreas Harrison, by getting through as early as he possibly could, is now just playing the role of spoiler and just trying to upset the other 4 players in the group who are going for those final couple of
100.
spots into tomorrow night's final.
Yes, I had a little hour on the board on the stage earlier myself in between sessions today.
40.
The throw is absolutely perfect. No wonder we're getting 9 darters up there, record averages. Players just desperate to be on there.
I was wondering why there was some marks on the tie around
100.
the board.
Disrespectful from Henry Deacon.
You spent the whole week abusing me, Glenn.
140.
Should start downstairs with the scores as they are. I like this play. If he hits the single, ouch. And what he was doing there was going for the bullseye 25 route
58.
to score the 100. Good thinking from Smith. Just a little bit unlucky with a bounce out.
$54.
This third leg hits a stalemate. Smith with the throw with the slender advantage. But could do with a treble here.
59.
Doesn't find one, and so the ball moves back into Thornton's court if he can find something tangible.
He certainly will. 174 would have been the target there.
100. Jeff Ducal,
Will that be enough,
154.
Robert?
Well, the grimace on his face is the fact that he knew that he could have got way more than just a ton following dart 1. But he's going to come back for 106 to get the break of
57.
throw and then
Robert
throw
Ducal,
for the
106.
match. Triple 17 leads tops. Not to be for Thornton on this occasion. And so Smith back for 97 to move
59.
himself 2-1 in front.
Jeff Ducal, 97.
Crucial moment of this match. Giving himself an opportunity. Biggest start of the match.
87. Robert Ducal, 47.
So break chance on for Thornton. 47 required. 7 for tops. Trusty tops. But it's double 10 that needs to be his friend right now.
37.
And neither correlate.
Jeff, you've
Neither
got
are
10.
found. And Smith gets a reprieve. Double 5 is what he's looking at. Three double 1 in the madhouse.
Robert
And
Ducal,
potentially
10.
in a spot of bother. 2 5s for Thornton. Big moment in this match and potentially over the course of the night as well. But the
No
doubles
score.
misses rack
Jeff
up.
Ducal, 2.
I tell you what, Henry, take Andreas Harrison out this Group B, and it's been a very, very disappointing performance from the 4 of them. The opportunities these players are getting. And it
No
continues.
score. Robert Ducal,
Absolutely incredible. Who wants it the most?
Who wants it at all? And now Thornton's frailing around at double 2.
Game
But
shot
he
on the
finds
third
it.
leg. Robert
He gets the
Thornton.
break. And in 27 darts, finds himself 2-1 in front.
Fourth leg, Robert to throw first. Game on.
But crucially, he has the darts for the match.
No score.
Surely the time's running out for Jeff Smith here. I just get the same feeling I had with Bradley Brooks. How many chances do these players want?
No score.
You've got to grab Robert Thornton while he's there, whilst he's vulnerable, while he's got this checker. Remember, Robert Thornton was pretty much getting off every 3 darts in his Group A campaign. He's off. And Jeff Smith, he's just not at the races right now.
I tell you who will be
55.
enjoying every single bit of this is Adam Lipscombe in the practice room, because he's seen the other 4 players in this group play, and he's probably not seen anything that will overly perturb him.
140.
Thornton wins this game and Lipscombe
96.
beats Brooks. Then you've got Andreas Harrison off in the sunset on 10 points, and the other 4 players on 4 points in this group.
180.
And that could be very much the case, Henry, as well, after that maximum. It's almost like we've forgotten about Robert
45.
Thornton a
Robert
little bit.
Carlton, 21.
All the talk has been about Bradley Brooks and Jeff Smith, but right now, Robert Thornton, he won't panic just yet.
81.
Laid up very, very nicely for his trusted tops. Only one winner right now, Henry.
Jeff Smith
96. Robert Carl, 40.
feels like he knows his fate. Thornton sat at tops and with plenty of time to take it out. But he only
He's
needs
on
the
the
one
match.
dart
Robert
to
Thornton.
cross the finishing line. At times it was scrappy, but the points are in the bag of the twice World Seniors champion. Robert Thornton up and running with a win, and it further condenses this Group B. At the tail of the tape, it wasn't a classic, but Thornton won't care. He's got the points in the bank. Coming up after the break is a return to the stage for Bradley Brooks, and a welcome for Friday night to Adam Lipscombe.
Decision needs to be made. He's going to be 49, 1 year shy of the age of the seniors.
A very viable option. 2 players who are around that age. Well, what did he say about the 9?
Will we get the 141? Will the promise come true? Double 12.
Shot and the match.
Steve
West
has won the match with a 9 dart.
But Harrison has kicked off the last leg in perfect style.
It's everything, really. Oh, he's timing this well again.
180.
With a 9-darter, treble 19. Treble 15 leaves double 18. Franchise Harrison to win the game in perfect style.
Hauled himself out of it.
Yeah, it was something that Henry actually said in jest that I was quoted as saying Jared Cole is one of the most, sounds a bit fishy, blended on my grandpa Mark Salmon.
Do you? On a 177 and a 180. He's on a potential 9-darter.
Come on, Jared. Yes, you beauty!
Nice and high, and has now got the game back into his
100.
own destination, and wow, the momentum is with him. Here we go.
108.
I wouldn't have said it. Don't jinx it. Yes. Yes! Double 12! Yes! Get in there, Lee Cock!
Well, I think it's fair to say that the blue touch paper has been well and truly lit.
108.
6th max of the match. Oh, hang about. Hang about. It's getting ridiculous now. Can Tommy Leishman give us back-to-back 9-darters in back-to-back games? He could, you know. He could, you know. Goodness gracious! Wait!
Tommy Leishman.
Back-to-back 9-darters!
2 tremendous players, and the trebles are absolutely flying in for another maximum.
And he gets a 180. Bradley Brooks, bam, bam.
Jeff Smith, how can he follow that? He looks focused. Oh, what's happened here?
Well, what's going on?
This was not in the plan. Look at the plays.
Yeah, something's going on here. What on earth is happening?
I'm not sure what it's all about. Oh my God, it's the baby boy! And welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where it could be about the end of my career after that. Oh my God, it's baby boy.
A-level in drama going out well there, Glenn.
But it's Adam Lipscombe, in all seriousness, so he's up next. A really important game coming for him. And I think round about midnight last night, he'd lost his opening 3 games. He looked a very frustrated figure, Henry, and games he should have won. His check-out ratio. I just think the way the results have gone today, and how poor. I don't like to highlight the fact that players are playing poor, but Group B are normally so exciting more than anything. But what it is, it's brought Adam Lipscombe back into it against a player in Bradley Brooks who's just had opportunity after opportunity to beat Andreas Harris in the first game. How will he respond to that? Over to you, baby Henry.
Right, thank you, Glenn. The baby
First
boy
leg,
up
Bradley
against
to
Bam
first.
Bam. There's more B's than you can shake a stick at, so perhaps
Game on.
appropriate that these two are in Group B. Well, Lipscombe is very much in play, as you say. If anything, he's been the biggest beneficiary of how the results have gone so far this evening.
24.
Brooks should be on 6 points, if the truth be told.
I tell you what, that looks a much more focused Bradley Brooks. Even
No
just the
score.
way him getting the darts out, he's rushing to the hockey. I think he's gone and had a word with himself after that game with Andreas Harrison.
Well, we've spoken a lot, haven't we, about how
123.
since losing his card, we've seen a real maturity about Bradley, and it's in moments like this where we will learn to the extent that that's the
116.
case.
Well, Scott Mitchell put his success down on Thursday to speaking to his wife. And Adam
97.
Lipscombe, when he was playing yesterday, when he went home, he spoke to his partner. She just felt he was a little bit tight around the shoulders, and just
60.
to try and relax a little bit more and don't let the tension of the occasion get to him. Let's see if it works, but I think he's up against a much, much better Bradley Brooks
87.
here.
And perhaps the issue Adam's got is he's got a different pressure compared to other players because he's the local player, because he knows there'll be a big
100.
crowd here
Bradley
tomorrow
Carr,
if he gets
170.
through. It's a different weight of expectation. Brooks has got 6 from the fish, and he's not going to take it out in 3.
130.
But he'll do the next best job and leave tops.
It looks like Bradley Brooks is in fast forward. I mean, he's
60.
sprinting to the
Bradley Carr,
hockey,
40.
sprinting to get behind. He's given himself a right telling off.
Game shot on the first leg.
Different
Bradley
player.
Brooks.
Brooks leads 1-0.
Second leg, Adam to throw first. Game on.
And already Lipscombe's on the back foot. And I suppose the issue with playing the last game first for
100.
Adam is there will be a feeling that he has to get out the gate much quicker, that the fine lines will be drawn much quicker than the others.
80.
Yep, the quicker pace is certainly working for Bradley Brooks. I'm wondering if it's less thinking time. He just seems to have found a rhythm right now, which is
100.
suiting him. But a good response there from Lipscombe.
$59.
Don't forget, you can get in contact with us via our social media feeds. We're at MSS Darts on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can also
45.
get in contact with us via the YouTube chat room, which is only available if you're a subscriber. So click that little button by the side of the screen which says Modus Super
80.
Series Darts, and you can be a part of our gang.
Yeah, thanks very much for your continued support.
140.
I'll ask the chat room a question. How bad was my drama? Has it ruined my career? Oh my God.
So right, with acting that bad, you could be on Hollyoaks next week.
116.
No acting at all from Lipscombe here. Looking good for 1-1. Travel 20 will be the shot.
80.
Well, Lipscombe's left himself on 36 to square this game up at 1 apiece, and for all the good work that Bradley Brooks did in the first leg, it's coming
60.
undone and
Adam
coming
McCarr,
unstuck in leg
36.
2. We could have an even game in next to no time at all. Brooks
Game
held
shot in
in
the second
16 in
leg.
the
Adam
first leg.
Lipscombe.
Lipscombe will do likewise. 1-1.
Yeah, good job he didn't listen to my counting skills
Third
there.
leg, Bradley to throw first. Game on.
Good game, this one. Best game of the night so far. Couple of nervy, tense games to start the night. Just felt the bar
80.
has been raised here.
Both players off first start in this leg.
120.
Just beginning to come up to the boil is this contest. And Brooks beginning to really dip his bread in the treble bed.
100.
Yeah, 4 players already through to Saturday night now, and the next part of it is that we need a good crowd to see these
85.
fantastic players who have been applying the trade all week. So you have to say, Adam Lipscombe, if he does qualify, always brings an incredible crowd with him.
100.
Oh, this place will be packed to the rafters if baby boy books his spot through.
47.
7:30 the action gets underway tomorrow evening on the Super Series YouTube channel. But will we see these two there?
100.
Yeah, definitely the best performance from Bradley Brooks for a while. Tight contest this one, especially if he finds another treble.
100. Bradley McCarr, 121.
1-2-1 for Brooks to put his nose in front again. Not to be on this occasion. He's already been hit with a 157 tonight, has Bradley. Is he going to be hit with
81.
a 149 here?
Adam McCarr, 149.
Super last start from Brooks. It meant that 149, your sense has to go.
45. Bradley McCarr, 40.
We're talking very positively about Bradley Brooks in this game. Can he see out this leg? There's the marker.
We have seen a lot of darts at tops today drift into the 5.
Adam McCarr, 104.
Across both sessions, across a plethora of players. Lipscombe going the 16s route for 104. Now, 24 scored, 80 left, goes tops. There's the first of them. There's the second
Game
of
shot
them.
of the third
And it's
leg.
another
Adam
boom,
Lipscombe.
boom hit against Bam Bam. And he may well think that
Fourth leg,
tonight
Adam to
is
throw
transpiring
first. Game
against
on.
him. It's a freaky Friday for the man from Blackburn. And he finds himself trailing by 2 legs to 1.
Yeah, he looks a bit of a lost soul there, doesn't he, Bradley? We talked an awful lot about how positive he's been in this game. But that's a hurtful sucker
score.
punch, however. And I emphasize the word, however, he hasn't got off once again, Lipscombe, and a chance for Brooks. That's how quickly a match can change. Super
80.
response.
Well, second consecutive leg. Both players have kicked off
115.
dart 1 in a leg. But
140.
you have to say, Bradley Brooks is trying to eke out everything that he has got. It's not going to be for the want of
95.
trying if it's not to be for him tonight.
Yeah, they're effectively all 4 pointers,
97.
these games. Baron Harrison, who's running away with things.
121.
Well, if Lipscombe wins this game, second, third, fourth and fifth will all be on 4 points. And effectively from this point, the games between players against
58.
Andreas Harrison
Adam McCarr,
become 3 hits.
170.
And they just got to all try and take as many points off each other as possible. Lipscombe was looking for the fish. It would have been the second straight ton topper
92.
of this
Bradley McCarr,
match. Brooks
126.
needing a ton topper to take us all the way.
He'll stay there. And to get back in this game, bullseye for 2-2.
92. Adam McCarr, 78.
And quite simply for Adam, he has to find the 18's bed. Not only that, he finds the treble for 2 match darts. Double 6.
Game shot
And
on the
that's
mat,
exactly
Adam
what he
Lipscombe.
needed. What a big win for Adam Lipscombe. Remember, he lost his opening 3 matches in this Group B campaign, but a win late last night against Bradley Brooks and a victory here has put Adam Lipscombe in a good position now. What a scrap we have for the 2 other places. Andreas Harrison is already through. Really good numbers. We can talk about those averages close to 90 throughout, ends up round about mid-80s, 3 from 4 on the outer ring. That was his Achilles heel last night. He seems to have corrected that, has Lipscombe. The big games keep on coming. It's top of the table and qualified Andreas Harrison against the much improved Robert Thornton.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Adam Lipscombe got the better of Bradley Brooks by 3 legs to 1. And this is how the table situates as a result. Andreas Harrison, he is through, 10 points to his name, 5 games played, 5 wins on the board, and everybody else is on 4 points in the group. It is a battle royale towards the finishing line in this Group B, and it will be decided over the next 6 matches, the last 6 matches of this group campaign, and it's going to kick off with a battle between Robert Thornton and Andreas Harrison. The Swede is the one sitting pretty at the top of the group. He's the one that can enjoy and relax whilst everybody else sweats it out to book their place into tomorrow evening's finale. And if he can make it 7 heaven in terms of wins, then he will inflict further pain upon the Fawn, who after a good Group A campaign is having a bit of a disaster in terms of qualifying through Group B. And again, it will put the ball in the court of Adam Lipscombe and Jeff Smith, who go toe-to-toe in match 5 of our evening session. Big few matches coming up here, Glenn, and a match you sense Robert Thornton has to win.
80.
Yeah, I enjoyed his performance against a disappointing Jeff Smith, you have to say. I also feel that we sort of didn't speak about Robert Thornton as much as the other players, but
just looking at that league table there, I mean, it's so all to play for. I mean, the only big thing is the fact that Bradley Brooks has played
43.
one more game than the others. So you'd have to feel that Robert Thornton has the ascendance, especially if he can get over the line. He knows how to beat Andreas Harrison. He has been playing him all week.
59.
But you sense this is the biggest head-to-head between the pair of them.
In terms of weekly wins, there's only 2 players
80.
who have won more weeks, if you include Champions Weeks and you include specials, than Andreas Harrison. If he wins this week, he'll tie the record for 5 weekly wins. Neil Duss won 4 qualifying weeks and double trouble 1. Steve West won 5 regulation
70.
qualifying weeks. And if Harrison wins this, then he'll complete a career triple crown here at the Live Lounge. He'd have won a regulation week, a Champions Week, and a specials week. He would have won
41.
everything that you could possibly win in this building.
Yeah, and last night, he, you know, we can understand why we're talking like that. In fact, the match between them yesterday
81.
was just an incredible 104.86 average for Andreas against Robert. And when we looked at the records as well, we went all the way back to the World Grand Prix, a
120.
competition that Robert Thornton's won. And it's the second biggest average, matching Gary Anderson, who was sat in second place. Only Alan Warrener with a higher average.
The Iceman 1.0.
WK
Maxi from the Beard to be feared 2.0.
Yeah, double whammy there for Thornton. He had a bounce out on what looked good for 180. And then to turn round, and
83.
Andreas
Andreas Uakar 111.
was it his own maximum. The Nelson.
Not going to find the treble 17, which would have given him a dart at top to win leg 1. Thornton should have 2 at that target to take the
79.
opening rubber of this 4th match of the
WK
evening
54.
session. Tots of Thornton. Now double 10. He is having
30.
some problems on that breakdown.
34. Andreas Uakar 32.
And he could find himself a breakdown if Harrison takes out the 32.
Yeah, it's a good sign, isn't it, for Andreas, that he ain't playing well, but winning games here.
Game shot on the first leg.
Just
Andreas
doing what he
Harrison.
had to do. He wasn't very impressive against Bradley Brooks. Got that win he
Second leg,
needed.
Andreas is through first. Game on.
I did expect him to come out and put a real superb performance here. But a missed opportunity there for Robert Thornton. I think that could hurt Robert.
120.
If the truth be told, this evening's been a little bit of a slugfest.
100.
Yeah, I think my favourite group of the week has been that Group C. I had an incredible day today. If you were with us this afternoon, it was just drama of the highest
100.
degree. And Ted Everts, what a story that could be if he lifts the title tomorrow night. Because he was never in a qualifying position until that double 3. His last dart.
24.
Well, Ted Everts was akin to a greased piglet, the way that he managed to dodge every single bullet possible and slip away from every slippery slope that he was sliding down. If you do want to
60.
relive that, highlights are available on the Super Series YouTube channel.
$100.
Harrison tiptoeing towards a 2-0 lead. But he has got this ability, hasn't he, Andres? Even when he's not playing at his best, to draw something tangible out. And that's exactly what he's doing here.
Yeah, he will be there tomorrow night. And you two also
60.
can be here as he looks at
Andreas
81.
Uakar 81.
We'll give you the exact details in the next leg, but he's just beginning to put the afterburners on right now, isn't he? Double 18.
Game shot on the
And that
second
type
leg.
of finishing
Andreas
can
Harrison.
take him all the way to that title. We are obviously
Bill
in
Legg Roberts is
Portsmouth
in
and
first.
just
Game
behind the shoulders there on a Saturday night. We're hoping for a full crowd to see some fantastic players applying their trade. And you two can be
60.
here. We'll put a little QR code up on the screen right now. And if you scan that, there is a small booking fee. Sure, there'll be a good crowd in the house tomorrow to see darts like this. And would it be any surprise to you, Henry, that Andreas Harrison is one of those players lifting that title?
I don't think there's a definitive favourite right now.
140.
I really don't. Possibly Neil Duff, because of previous form, may just go off with the odds compilers as the slender favourite. Harrison will
95.
be amongst it, of course he will. And I think Richie Burnett will be up amongst it because of how he played in Group C. I think the bookies will have a bit of a chasm in terms of the odds. I think them three will be at the top of the betting.
134.
And I think the other three will be just a little bit cut adrift. Thornton leaving himself on a finish after 9.
140. Lovely car, 167.
Had his opportunity in leg 1, Robert. He's not let that frustration get to him.
87.
80 certainly not a gimme. So Andreas Harrison is still in this leg if he can find a couple of trebles.
81. Lovely car, 80.
I don't think I've seen Harrison shake his head as much as he has tonight. Will he be shaking his head again if this tops goes in for Thornton?
60. Andreas
Tots does not go, and Harrison
125.
looking at this 125 for 2 wins on the spin. And treble 15 first.
42. Robert Ucar, 20.
25 would have left in Tots. Thornton looking at double 10 for 2-1.
Game shot on
Past
the
the
third leg.
arrears.
Robert
And
Thornton.
forces Harrison here to serve it out. And Andreas must be thinking how
Fourth leg,
I'm
Andreas
playing
to
so
serve first.
poorly, but
Game
still
on.
on the cusp of 2 wins from 2.
Yeah, there was something that you said in the previous match, Henry. I'm thinking that people almost saying Andreas is going to win because he's the better player, and the fights
120.
between those 4 players, and now they're just lacking a little bit of belief when they're playing the Swede.
117.
And we see it so often, don't we, in groups where everybody's
70.
waiting for somebody to go, and by and large, when that happens, then the standard goes up as a result. But there's not really been a performance as of yet, which is
140.
really. So it feels like everybody's still searching for something.
It's definitely picked up a little bit. I thought the last game, and they're both averaging in the mid-80s in this game.
99.
But you just expected incredible quality. Maybe we got spoilt a little bit in the Group B campaign from Andreas yesterday. But the other 4, maybe they're still saving their best to come.
We've given them a big build-up because their reputations, past and present, have been deserving of that.
I'm actually liking Robert Thornton right now.
81. Robert Ucar, 104.
Remember, this is for a break, a throw. He should have won that first leg. $86 points left. There's a couple of options. The treble 18s. Treble 20 could be a shot. Bullseye could be a shot. For double 13.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Robert Thornton.
Some way to claw it back. Thornton levels us up 2-2. Big leg here
Fifth
incoming.
and final leg. Robert to through first. Game on.
Could he be the second player to reach 6 points? Andreas Harrison did that a long time ago. And Robert Thornton could
60.
take the ascendancy. Remember, every 2 points will be magnified right now because of how close this Group B campaign is. He won't like it when he turns around and say Andreas has got off with your first start.
80.
But right now, it's in the hands of Robert Thornton. Can he find those trebles?
Leg of sheer magnitude for the Fawn. And you can see that the jovialness that we've seen from him at times this week has been transferred to full locked focus. Something we see
125.
pretty much all the time on the face of the Super Swedes.
$100.
None the wiser in this last leg. Harrison taking the darts of Thornton and looking to take full advantage, make full use of it. Leads himself first to a finish, 156.
Yeah, this has turned out to be a really good game. Andreas Harrison now averaging over 90.
60.
Oh, that will hurt
Andreas
because they're
Yokar,
3 well-thrown
156.
darts. 6 darts on Harrison. He has found that extra gear that he has.
And for the match,
138.
And that would have been to have finished off matches with checkouts of 157 and 156. But he edges towards the finishing line. Thornton piles in a max. He wonders why now.
Andreas got 18.
Better late than never. Is it too late for the Fawn?
No score.
It may not
Robert
be.
Lucar, 16.
yes, the difference with that 180, and he's got the more favoured double. It's double A for Thornton. Big,
shot on the match,
big
Robert
win for the
Thornton.
Scotsman. Robert Thornton was involved in a great game there with Andreas Harrison. That last leg was a real beauty. Missed opportunity at the end for the smiling Swede. But Robert Thornton, he was bottom of the table overnight, but 2 wins out of 2. He moves into a comfortable second place. Smiles all round here on the stage at the Modus Super Series. Good numbers. Andreas Harrison took his average over 90 at the end, but those missed darts, missed opportunities, and Robert Thornton doesn't ask for a second chance. A good win for Thornton as we move on to another big game. They'll keep on coming. For qualification, it's Adam Lipscombe against Jeff Smith.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
They've both got the talent where they can reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. What a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
But what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only needs the one. Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you saying about efficiency?
on the third leg.
Is that the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Well, Smith, is it a
Darius Labanowski.
9? A long time. And that clenched fist.
Game shot on the mark.
He gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth flag.
Just like
Darius
that.
Labanowski.
only needs the one. There you can see.
That she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great guide.
Shot on the first leg. Andreas
It's a
Harrison.
breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
Shot on the second leg. Cam Crabtree.
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison.
Tickets are available for every single Saturday night here at the Live Lounge in Series 9, including Champions Night, which takes place on Saturday, December the 7th. So you can join us here for Saturday evening at the Live Lounge. You ain't got any last minute plans. You could join us tomorrow evening, but you may have to be quick if Adam Lipscombe is to make his way through, because they will be at a premium. And he takes on Jess Smith in the middle match of the night here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Lipscombe winning his first game, 3-1 against Bradley Brooks. Jess Smith losing his first game 3-1 to Robert Thornton. But who is going to take the spoils in the midway point of the evening session?
40.
Yeah, it was roundabout now that Jeff Smith started playing his best darts. He beat Adam yesterday. But right now you have to feel it's Adam with the
No score.
ascendancy. Another really big game. They're just going to keep on coming tonight because of how tight. But Robert Thornton done his job. That was a seriously big win over Andreas Harrison. It's a superb last leg between the pair of them. And he is back up after this game as Robert Thornton against a luckless Bradley Brooks. Something has to happen for him and has to happen in that game. So very much all to play for. Please stay with us. I've just been reading a lot of your chat questions, but there's just too much going on. But thank you very much, and I'll try and get to those questions at some point.
That Champions Night on Saturday, December the 7th,
95.
there's a lot of tickets that have been sold for that already. It's bound to be a seller once again, so you best be quick to your device to book your tickets for that, as Lipscombe gets his first max and the first max of this match.
It was 2 losses on the spin for Jess Smith yesterday. He did bounce back, winning his final 2 games. But will that be enough tonight? You fancied Adam, didn't you, before the dart was thrown on Monday? I think he's beginning to demonstrate his real qualities right now.
He's a forever improving player, is Adam Lipscombe, and every single time he's been here, we've seen a better version of him.
Game shot on the first leg. Adam Lipscombe.
And those issues he had with the doubles and the checkouts seem to be eradicated.
Second leg, Jeff to throw first. Game on.
His partner said, relax those shoulders. And I think he's listened. He also might have listened to Neil Duff, who's been in touch with him, said, keep out of those 5s. And Neil Duff did say in an interview that this man in your picture right now will qualify from this group. Very bullish about that. And who's to argue right now? He's definitely playing his best darts.
Well, as we know all too well, when Neil Duff makes predictions, he's not usually too far off the mark. Case in point, that Lakeside campaign, where he predicted every single game that he was going to play and then predicted the correct result.
Yeah, he spoke very well. Really enjoyed the interviews. Enjoyed his time this week, Neil Duff. And I definitely think he's someone who'll be suited to this comms box.
Another pro.
Another expert. That's what you need. You want players, ex-players in the comms box who know the game, who know 99. What it's like to play, what it's like to feel up there.
Well, if we had ex-pros that knew what it was like to win on the Super Series stage, then Neil Duff would be a perfect replacement, Glenn.
Or that same player winning Premier Leagues, something that you've never got a sniff at because you've never played the game.
58.
I focus on the play-by-play, you focus on the colour.
100.
Really impressed. Averaging 96.54 right now.
Lipscombe looking for the 101
60.
to open up a 2-0 lead. He's got 6 from here to get the break. He may only need the 3. Tots to Lipscombe.
Game shot on the second
And Jess
leg.
Smith may well be in room 101 here. Lipscombe breaks, he leads 2-0. And there could well be a roles reversal in terms of how the table lies, because at the beginning of the night, Smith and Brooks are in Ps 2 and 3. Lipscombe and Thornton are in positions 4 and 5. If Lipscombe wins this game, that could well be swapped around at the midway point of the night.
Smith is treading water. Why, I think he said. I'm just trying to read his lips there. He was muttering away to himself. He's giving himself an opportunity with that double 18. We've seen so many
56.
comebacks this week. Even a couple of comebacks as well tonight. But it's going to take you feel something special to beat Lipscombe right now.
60.
Plays at a fantastic pace, which I think will suit Jeff Smith. Two incredibly quick players.
$60.
Making his move.
$140.
And what was your reasons behind the fact you thought he would actually win the week, not just get out of this Group B?
Because he's
45.
a player that's moving to the cusp of doing something big. And I just think that not playing in the series setting, the series environment, and the crowd that will be there on the Saturday night, I just think all the cards will work in his favour. He can almost have a free hit at this.
Yeah, the only disappointing thing for Adam, he has got Andreas Harrison up next.
95. Adam McCall, 101.
Thornton's proved he can be beaten in this group. It was 101 in the previous leg. Is it going to be the same again?
89.
A width of a wire away, but he's going to come back for 3 more double six to cross the finishing line. And so far, it's been a disastrous
43.
night
Adam
for Jeff
McCall,
Smith,
12.
and it could well be compounded here.
Performance of the night.
Adam
Lipscombe, 2 wins out of 2. That was a sparkling performance in super quick time. Very, very impressive, and an awful lot to think about as Jeffers trudges off the stage there. A pat on the back there from Paul Hinks and big smiles for Adam Lipscombe. What a performance. Fantastic numbers. That 101 checkout again. 75% of the checkout. Whatever he's done overnight, it's working. But 95.94, that is championship winning. Excellent data from Adam Lipscombe. We're going to go to the studio. We're going to chat about the games previously. And after the break, it will be Bradley Brooks against Robert Thornton.
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
18 for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scape. Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
The match starts to put his team into the final.
And
through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscombe.
He seems to be out. That's what he is. Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
No Bosch.
Pie Face is through. He gets
And
there.
he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we've reached the midway point of our evening session here at the Live Lounge. Reports of Glenn Durham has been watching every single dart in the commentary box, and this is what we've seen so far this evening. So far, so good for Andreas Harrison. He went through with ease in the end. He was 2-0 down to Bradley Brooks, 1-3-2. He booked his place through, but we're really none the wiser as to who the other two players that are going to progress their way through to tomorrow night's final is going to be. It's been a disaster for Messrs Smith and Brooks so far. Had a win to their names. Robert Thornton, Adam Lipscombe, both 2 from 2 so far. So effectively, the league table, if I can move myself over, has pretty much flip-flopped in terms of position 2 and 3.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit unfair of us not to be chatting too much about Robert Thornton. He's the one who's, 2 wins out of 2 and almost forgotten when he was, in bottom place overnight, but super impressed with Adam Lipscombe. He's been great.
Well, let's talk about the man who is through to tomorrow night's final, Andreas Harrison. He knew he only needed to win one game. He got the job done quickly, no messing about.
Hasn't been great tonight, though, so I still think he'll want to do something. I mean, this is the type of dart you can do. I mean, you call this 157, and I mean, when Andreas gets on that, Rocky, you expect special things from him these days. That was one of the highlights in what was a disappointing game, actually.
So Andreas Harrison through. Adam Lipscombe, as you mentioned, has probably had the best night of anybody so far. He came into this in the bottom 2 positions, now finds himself in the top 3 positions. And that last performance before the break there was a real class performance.
It just seemed to be over in seconds. 2 very quick plays, himself and Jeff Smith. And it was the performance of the night. Again, he took a little bit of advice from family. They felt he was a little bit tight in the shoulders and just maybe overthinking the situation. But these type of darts, this top seed as well. I mean, it was the reaction from Bradley Brooks as well. I mean, he just looked stunned. I mean, they're plumb. They're right smack bang in the middle, but just look what it did to Bradley Brooks as well. The effect of that, and Bradley Brooks and Jeff Smith have had a disappointing night.
Robert Thornton also with a good evening. You singled him out when we had an overall prognosis a few moments ago. Why would you single him out in particular?
Just the fact that I think I'd written him off. The fact that after 5 days of playing darts as a senior, I thought fatigue would kick in, but he's proved me wrong and done the unthinkable as well. He's the guy that's taken out with this double 13. Andreas Harrison got him back in the game, and the last leg was a beauty between the pair of them as well. But that was a big win for Robert Thornton.
Let's have a look at the league standings, confirm where the land lies as we head into the second half of the session. Andreas Harrison with a 4-point lead. He's through. He's comfortable. We don't need to worry about him anymore. Lipscombe and Thornton on 6 points. Brooks and Smith on 4. I want to talk about Brad because it's felt like at points this evening that his demeanour just feels like it might not be for him.
He said he felt flat last night, and I have a feeling he's playing well. We've talked an awful lot about when you lose your card, the importance of, getting back and using what is out there for amateur darts right now, and I just need him to find a little bit of something. He walked on and was playing at a much quicker pace, and I thought, this is good. He's going to race through this game there. But, it's just not happened for him. But again, it's very, very tight there. And he has to win his final 2 games, you feel.
Can the difficulty be that sometimes you try too hard to search for something?
Yeah, / you start overthinking the situation as well. You start looking at the league table. And then if buts and maybes come in, when Bradley Brooks has got the qualities to, got the necessary points in this group, he's missed opportunities.
Well, if you enjoy watching Bradley Brooks play darts, well, that's good news because he's going to be here again next week. This is the lineup for week 1. I think this is the best week 1 we've ever had here at the Super Series. West and Duff were both in the last Champions League. Bradley Brooks has been in the Champions League before. Darius Labanauskas made it through to a semi-finals of a Champions League before. And Gemma Hayter is doing some ridiculously good stuff on the Women's Series.
Yeah, and the fact that we've been here 2 years as well this week, and Kean T in there next week as well. Maybe it's written in the stars for him as well. I mean, I've had a quick look at all 12 weeks, and there's some really, really strong weeks. I think that's fairly winnable. I think Neil Duff's been here for 3 weeks now. Steve West just knows how to qualify for a Saturday night. I expect something special from him. But despite all that, the one name that stands out is Gemma Hayter. She's a super, super player.
You've been commentating on the women's series this year. What about Gemma in particular stands out for you?
I played England with her around about 2016, 17, and I didn't hear about her for a long time. But, you know, she clearly can still play darts, and she's got some sponsorship now as well. She's got a little bit of backing, and the women's series has brought the game. You know, she's superb in the ADC as well. She went up to Middlesbrough, won a tournament there. She's a great player, and what a opportunity for her. I don't think anyone will fancy playing her, that's for sure. A new name, a new face, but watch out for it.
9:30 Monday morning on the Super Series YouTube channel for that. But we've got some Sunday slinging here at the Super Series, the second edition of the Red Dragon Modus Super Series Influencer Showdown. Kicks off at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and it's bound to be filled with entertainment.
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God!
We're not going to need that. Bosh.
High face is through. It's Charlie Murphy!
First half from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scape. Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
The crowd was jeering. The crowd was giving him a little bit of stick there.
It is the streaming sensation that is Bye.
Well, both Bradley Brooks and Robert Thornton will be here for a Sunday session at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. They're both going to be playing in the pairs event. This is the draw for it. Some stars of social media and TikTok and Twitter and all the other social media sites all in action. Steve West, Mason Whitlock, Tommy Morris, Devon Peterson, Reece Colley and John Henderson, the other pros. Actually, I was speaking to Hendo earlier, and he's really looking forward to spending an afternoon with Angry Ginge. But these two will be hoping to be in a Saturday night final before the Sunday fun day here at the Live Lounge. I nearly went full Paul Hinks there. Bradley Brooks, Robert Thornton, match 6 of our night session. And these two have been treading different paths this evening. Thornton, well, you could say pretty much faultless so far, up against Bradley Brooks, who has had a trying night of it here at the Super Series. Who wins this one, Glenn, and why do they win this one?
Well, you'd have to say Robert Thornton, based on what we've seen so far tonight. Time is running out now for Bradley Brooks. He did beat Robert Thornton in this contest last night, round about the same time as well. But there's just been something about Robert Thornton.
Like Bradley to throw first.
Are we about to see the best of Bradley Brooks? It needs to happen now, Bradley. He watched his good friend qualify, Ted Everts, in that incredible Group C campaign. I thought he might use that as a little bit of motivation.
32.
But darts is also about confidence. And you just sense that is burning through with Robert Thornton at the moment. That win over Andreas Harrison as well has got to give him confidence going into this. And Robert Thornton, final game tonight will be against Adam Lipscombe. That could be a decider for qualification. So stay with us. Still plenty watching. I've read all your message on the chat room, so thanks very much, everybody. But you try and pick a winner from this.
131.
Thornton playing with the air of a man that it is now or never, and he is hoping just to find a real springboard in this game 58. To give himself the best possible opportunity when it comes to that last. Bradley ends his campaign against Jeff Smith, and he's the first player to finish 99. His nightly campaign as well as the Blackburn thrower. Thornton.
59.
Plenty of time from the fish to take out the opening leg, and it would be a breaker throw in that first dart. Perfectly sat for a second. Do you, Robert? He does, but he couldn't find.
Yeah, the only consideration was to go for that, despite the fact that Bradley Brooks is way on 2-5-2. He's not one, obviously, for splitting Robert Thornton, but with double 17, that's got to come into the equation. 54. His decision's made. It's gone direct. The lesser spot of double 17 has been hit.
13 darter for Robert Thornton. He leads 1-0.
Game on.
Well, if Ted Everts could have bought a lottery ticket earlier Bradley Brooks could have bought the winning lottery ticket and then it fell out of his hand as he went to retrieve it from
40.
the local newsagents.
No score.
It feels like now it's going to be a test of that man's patience.
Yeah, good word. I was thinking the same. This game can really irritate you. I mean, there were well-thrown darts for Bradley. He just seemed to hit the wire. Very reminiscent of what Robert Thornton's done there, to be fair. So still only a ton in it.
He must be feeling befuddled. His head must be in a muddle. But he has to try and find a way out of trouble here. Rescues the situation. This leg kind of back at an even kilter.
97.
Yeah, Adam Lipscombe is going to get the headlines the way he's played so far. But Robert Thornton has been superb. And a win here would be 3 wins out of 3.
140.
Just looking at the in-play table now. He moves to 8 points and he's got that desired gap. And a victory over Bradley Brooks means Bradley could not overtake Robert.
78.
I'll leave all the permutations to my co-commentator, Henry Deacon. But things are looking good for Thornton, especially if he wins this match.
And he's looking in very good
21.
stead to do so. His average in excess of 93. Bounce over the third. He's almost
114.
too accurate, really, wasn't he?
I can't believe he's making Paul Hinks pick up his darts. I mean, I know he's got a bad back, but Paul Hinks is a 107-year-old.
100. Robert Carr 112.
This would be for yet another topper hit against Bradley.
72. Bradley Carr 139.
Yes, this is superb from Thornton. Will he be back? Yes, he will.
So Thornton for a 2-0 lead.
99. Robert Carr
And he's going to have to take out this tops. He's either hit it first time or he's messed about on it. Double 10 has not been helpful at all this evening until there. Thornton 2 up. And Bradley Brooks may well be staring the exit door in his face in the not too distant future. He needs to find an escapology act, the like of which Andreas Harrison found against him in the opening match of the night. He is in peril. He is in trouble. And he needs something
75.
now.
I'm just wondering if his mind has gone to his good friend Ted Everett as well, because he was never, ever in that qualifying position.
120.
But his opponents are just pummeling the doubles, hammering the trebles. But a response from Brooks.
140.
Digging in. Perhaps something that a couple of years ago
60.
we may not have said as much about Bradley Brooks, but there's been a real maturity about him. He's taken the setbacks in the last 18 months and using it as a tool to rebuild his career. Still only 24, still very
90.
much a fledgling when it comes to this sport.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in life. Sometimes you've got to take a step backwards to move forwards.
60.
And probably felt like the end of the world when he lost his tour card. But so many opportunities. And right at the top of the tree these days is the Modus Super Series.
60.
Looking at his throw, it's not a million miles away, I believe, where he wants to be. It's just winning games and that belief that needs to come back.
94. Bradley Carr 136.
To keep himself ticking along. And that first start is plumb for a second to follow. Double 8. He's been hit by a couple of big tub plus outs. And he almost had his own chance to fire back.
Bradley Carr 167.
But now Bradley's in
Carr
must
8.
not miss territory.
It's been a favourite double for many, many players this week, Bradley Brooks. You've got to start from somewhere. He's held his own throw.
First. Game on.
But you sense that the next 3 darts are the biggest in this match. And Thornton is off. And he's off big.
103.
Forcing Bradley to do Something likewise to pretty much start off perfectly, and he's not going to do so. He needs to find a trouble here, you sense, with the last start of the first turn, and that's why he
24.
moves across to double 12.
Yeah, just a reminder, if Robert Thornton wins this match, he goes to 8 points. And Bradley only on 4. He can only get to a maximum 6 points. The possibility of Bradley Brooks getting to tomorrow night is dwindling by the second.
59.
The light at the end of the tunnel must feel like it's moving further and further away. He looks up at the heavens. He looks all around. He's looking for some kind of divine inspiration. He almost laughs himself as Thornton hits that 140. Almost concessionary. Typically, of course, it all goes to plan now. Well, that's essentially in terms of 180s for the week, but
100.
I'm sure Bradley will feel like there's bigger fish to fry right now. Isn't it typical that when the shoulder relaxes, things just begin to come together?
He's not out of this match just yet, but he is going to face a match start for the much, much improved Robert Thornton. 3 wins out of 3, improved Robert Thornton. Another splendid performance from the Scot. Bradley Brooks quite simply left his sparkling darts just too little, too late. But for Robert Thornton, he moves to 8 points. He is looking very good. He's hot and bothered, but he's playing some fantastic darts. As I mentioned, 3 wins out of 3. And when you're averaging 92, when you're averaging 50% on the outer ring, that all equates to another beautiful performance. The Scot is flying, and Bradley Brooks, unfortunately, is going to struggle to qualify from here. Another big game coming up. The player of the night so far in Adam Lipscombe, he's against already qualified Andreas Harris. And that's after this short break.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Robert Thornton put himself in a real stronghold in terms of qualification through to tomorrow night's final. 3-1 success against the pointless Bradley Brooks on Friday night means that he is on the cusp of qualification through. Next up for us, it's Lipscombe against Harrison. Andreas already through. Lipscombe with a win would be pretty much as good as through to Saturday night's showpiece finale, and he will bring his Pompey contingent down with him if he was able to qualify through. Baby boy up against Dirty Harry. I'm not sure that's ever been said before in a sporting sense.
Well, it was a one-sided affair.
Through first.
If you look at the scoreline between them yesterday, both averaging around about 86 in a game that Andreas Harrison won 3-0. But you just sense it's a different Adam Lipscombe tonight. He was, after 3 games, pretty much dead and buried. He looked a dejected figure of how important that last game against Bradley Brooks last night. But it's always a tough ask against Andreas Harrison. But it is on the back of Adam Lipscombe just putting in a fantastic performance against Jeff Smith and winning that match 3-0 in record time.
There is a potential fear, though, that if Lipscombe loses this game to Harrison, all the hard work that he's done at the beginning of the year could... beginning of the night could very quickly
26.
be undone.
Yeah, it makes his final game of the night, doesn't it, against Robert Thornton, huge. We're getting to that stage now.
60.
Harrison of a win here would pretty much confirm the inevitable and confirm his place as the top player in Group B.
95.
I think Group A was excellent, competitive. The reigning champion Neil Duff. We saw the
55.
Real best of Robert Thornton as well. So a couple of disappointing displays, including this man in your pitch. He saved his best to the last day. Group C for me is the one that
100.
Full of drama, full of excitement. That went right down to the wire. But I think when all 5 players, barring Andreas Harrison,
60. Andreas
the
Ricard,
2 that don't
160.
qualify from Group B will be extremely disappointed.
Another. Tops.
140.
Out of the top drawer that would have been, and out of nowhere that would have been if Harrison pinned that 160.
140. Andreas Ricard, 20.
And just a reminder, it is on the throw of Lipscombe, which all means because he struggled to get off in this leg. But Andreas Harrison was struggling to see out the leg.
10.
Harrison's left himself on the tricky 5-5, and Lipscombe slowly but surely
100.
eking his way
Andreas
back into
Ricard,
the leg.
10.
Is there anything tricky for this man? You wouldn't
Getting
know
shot
if you
on the
looked at
first
him.
leg. Andreas Harrison.
Straight for it, straight in. The Swede leads with a break of throw
Second leg,
1-0.
Andreas to through first. Game on.
Andreas is 49 years of age, which means next year he's going to be eligible for the World Seniors Tour. And he could well be
120.
world champion material in that particular division.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it either, but I think he's good enough to
80.
get his qualifying card for PDC. I'd love to see him have a couple of years trading blows with the best players in the world. Be interesting to see if that's a plan. He did talk about the seniors to me yesterday, so
95.
whether or not he's not thinking of going to Q School, but very prolific on the Nordic and Baltic tour as well as Andreas.
140.
We both went out for Sunday lunch, didn't we, at the beginning of the year? And over a roast dinner, we both thought that Andreas Harrison was a player we thought in 2024 was going to get a tour card. And I think he's a better player now than when
100.
we tipped him up last year.
$100. $60. 60.
I thought the
Andreas
bullseye
Ricard,
could have come into
126.
consideration there for Adam. 116 it would have left. Treble 19 needed for Harrison. Lipscombe will be back.
94.
Maybe the expectation,
Adam
Henry, is just too much. We
121.
expect maybe 100 average every time Andres gets on the hockey. But it's bullseye for Adam.
96. Andreas Ricard, 32.
A bullseye that's missed, and so Harrison will return. Free in hand at 32 for a 2-0 lead. Usually these are inviting guides for the Swede.
No score.
Able
Adam
to
Ricard,
use it
25.
there.
Tired dart you fell from Harrison. Come on, he says.
Game
And it
shot on the
works.
second leg. Adam Lipscombe.
He's maybe getting Andres at the right time. Maybe just a little bit of fatigue
Third leg,
coming up for
Adam to
Harrison,
through
or that
first.
lack of
Game on.
motivation knowing you've qualified. And Thornton and Lipscombe are having a dream night.
And Lipscombe doesn't mind the play that if
No
the
score.
first dart goes below the tops, if he feels like it may just pull down to the bottom of the board and double 19 might come on. He didn't on that occasion. That's a perfect guide for Andreas.
Yeah, for many players you would think, well, what
No
a great
score.
camera angle just to demonstrate what Henry's alluding to there. Things go in the way of Lipscombe here. He didn't get off, but
No
not
score.
taking his chances. Expect Harrison to punish.
No score.
Well, well, well.
Still awaiting
40.
that elusive first starter double to go in this leg. It's not been a game that's caught fire.
It's not been a group, really, has it? Let's be honest with you.
65.
I think it's fair to say that the players that get through Group B, particularly in
82.
positions 2 and 3, are going to have to up it. Otherwise, their Saturday night campaigns will not last very long.
But you know more than anybody, getting through qualifications one thing. Come Saturday night, you might as well just
100.
rip up the script. It's just a fantastic occasion as well, these specials.
60.
A trophy and prize money to be won at the end of it. And just get in there. And I just think you'll see 6 highly motivated individuals, and I think it's going to be a fabulous night tomorrow night.
125.
What I will say is the more and more I'm watching this group, the more and more I think the winner of this week's going to come from Group C.
100.
Part of me thinks it's written in the stars for Ted Everts. My pick for the week is languishing at the bottom of this group, Jeff Smith. He'd be disappointed where things are going.
137.
Richie,
One thing I would say for Harrison, he just sensed his gears.
oh, you'll see a different man
99.
tomorrow night. He's
Andres
probably the
Ricard,
player
74.
of anybody in Group B you'd expect to really kick up a gear. And he's looking to kick up a gear here. 2 in hand, a double 16. Surely,
58.
just the other
Adam Ricard,
side.
120.
Well, the players who aren't on the stage right now are looking for Andreas Harrison victory here. But Lipscombe, 1 dart at tops, the biggest dart of his
80.
his
Andreas
night.
Ricard, 16.
That would have put him in a tremendous position.
He threw that well. He just could not find. And
Game shot
this
on the
is a
third leg.
game of
Andreas
margins.
Harrison.
A small miss for Lipscombe, a big hit for
Fourth leg, Andreas
Harrison.
to through
He
first.
breaks the
Game
throw,
on.
he moves 2-1 up, and all the hard work the baby boy has done to put himself in a good position may well be eaten away at in one match.
59.
Yeah, and fair play to Andreas Harrison. He knows there's a real scrap behind him, but he's just professionally getting on with his job,
60.
doing a real number on the majority of the players. He's not at his 100% best right now, but there'll be no surprise when I'm in my hotel in Wigan tomorrow night while I'm watching this. And Andreas Harrison,
45.
come 11 o'clock tomorrow, lifting that trophy.
Yeah, a bit of an upgrade tomorrow. Matthew Edgar's going to be here.
85.
Yeah, bringing in the big boys. I'm getting sacked for tonight. But joking aside, I'll be watching. It's been a fantastic week. These specials have brought something different to the Modus Super Series.
125.
That group A for me was the best selection of 6 players. And it just makes you a mouth-watering start to Series 9 on Monday.
140.
We go again.
As the wise man once said.
$140.
Van Velzen, of course, will be the defending champion. The first Dutch winner of the Super Series. Harrison made history for his country, Sweden, by
60.
winning Series 7. Could become the first Swedish winner of a Specials week. And this will guarantee top spot in the group. And he's got the perfect guide to the bullseye if he found Jumbo 19 with Dart 2.
Yeah, you were spot on there. I'll suggest he was thinking that as well, but he couldn't find the treble 9. They drifted the treble 3, they drifted the treble 1. And once again, Lipscombe is brought back into this leg. 81 points left. Leaves the 2-darter. This match ain't over yet.
And the bullseye route, treble 15 tops now is what he's going to be looking at. They were both very tired darts.
63.
Good recovery with dart 3 for this full-level match.
Second best throughout as Adam. But he's
2-2. On the fourth leg.
And has the darts. In this deciding last leg, Adam Lipscombe's having a great night.
Game on.
If he can just get over the winning, and I think that realisation just kicked in. If he can find a double, that's a good marker.
40.
And there is a possibility it could all be over here. If Lipscombe wins this match and a win for Books in the next, it would mean it's all over. Because Books can only get to 6 points in this group. Smith would then only be able to get to 6 points. And Thornton and Lipscombe would both be on 8 points in the group.
Yeah, you sense a real sigh in the players area from Jeff Smith and Bradley Brooks. When Andreas didn't get off, 140 points ahead is Adam. But here comes Harrison.
100.
And fair play.
Well, it's been a little bit laboured, hasn't it, this game? At times conservative
43.
from this pair.
He was a big favourite about 30 seconds ago, Adam Lipscombe. But that treble 1 and the fact that Andreas Harrison
60.
got off just the 20 points in it.
$100.
It's in the favour of Adam Lipscombe, but he'll hope that Andreas hasn't got anything big up his sleeve. It's just not happened tonight, but you expect there to be a better version of Andreas tomorrow. I think it's very difficult when you've gone through in the first game of the night to attain the
82.
adrenaline levels, and I think that's where Harrison maybe at times has been found foul.
Yeah, I think sometimes when their back's against the wall, that's when you see the best of Andreas Harrison. He's back against the wall right now.
140. Adam McCall, 136.
This will send Bradley Brooks out, and he'll put Lipscombe on the cusp of qualification. Double 8
120.
does not go, and he has to hope that Harrison hasn't got another match-winning ton-plus shot in the locker.
What an effort that was. But he's found the treble.
80.
What a conclusion to this match.
16.
Both have hit the wire with their match darts, but it's Lipscombe with a second chance.
Double 4.
12.
4 match
Andreas
darts
Rukar,
have
40.
come and gone for Adam Lipscombe, and Harrison has another hope.
He hasn't been at his best, Andreas Harrison, but he continues to win games. That will hurt Adam Lipscombe. That was a seriously big opportunity for qualification. He would have put himself in a fantastic position. He's still got a good chance. He will play Robert Thornton his final game. But it's Andreas Harrison who walks up the stage there. There was nothing to separate the pair of them. It went the distance. Both had match darts, but it's Andreas Harrison that takes the 2 points. You sense it's a really big game coming up next. Once again, it's final chance, last chance saloon for Jeff Smith against Bradley Brooks.
Welcome back to the live lounge here in Portsmouth for the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Andreas Harrison got a bit of Adam Lipscombe in the last leg to side of 3-2. Lipscombe missing 4 darts to win that particular contest. Harrison closing the game out, and may well have closed the hopes of Lipscombe. Still in an okay position, but a lot will change by the end of this match. For Bradley Brooks, it's quite simply win or bust. If he wins this game, he's still in with a hope. He'll sit in the back room and will need results to go his way. Thornton to beat Lipscombe and Harrison to beat Jeff Smith. Whilst if he loses this game, it is all over for him. He will depart for home. He won't depart for home. He'll have to stay around the hotel room and do nothing in Portsmouth all day on a Saturday. Mind you, that probably won't be a hard thing to do. Up against Jeff Smith, the silencer. If he wins this one, he'll be on 6 points. He'll be hoping that Thornton could do a job against Lipscombe, and then he will take on Andreas Harrison in the last game of the night. Change of MO right away for the silencer, heading down for double 16 to kickstart the opening leg.
.44.
Yeah, it's a stage now for Bradley Brooks. Not only does he need to win this game, but he needs to win heavy. But the way Jeff Smith has been getting off in legs, that could be a real possibility. When Jeff Smith looks back, remember, Jeff is here for this double trouble too. He's here to go to a WDF tournament at Chelsea on Sunday, but
93.
All that is for a competition in Amsterdam next week, a big competition, the World Series of Darts final. But you'd have to say the first part of the plan ain't going to plan.
Well, I hope Jeff Smith's got his accommodation booked for Selzy, otherwise it could be a very expensive weekend for him.
$139.
And he'll head to the FS Live, as you say, for the World Series finals, and that is some venue. Did you
32.
play in that tournament, the World Series finals?
No, I don't think I did. I always get that mixed up as well with the European Championships, but
You kind of came along at that wrong time, didn't you, where COVID
90.
hit, so you never really got the World Series chance, did you?
No, you are depressing me. When I won that Premier League, I would have got Australia, New York,
45.
Bahrain. So take that stupid grin off your face and don't ask questions like that. Only joking.
Instead, you get to spend your Friday nights in Portsmouth with
95.
me. Lucky you.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere
60.
else, but right now,
40.
I think Jeff Smith anywhere but that stage. This is for a rapid opener.
20.
Jeff Smith on a different postcode on 364. Why does this happen, you may ask?
140.
Jeff Smith must feel like he's in the other side of the Atlantic in this leg. Brooks takes out the double 10 to get the break. Bam Bam leads 1-0. And you mentioned that a win of a big margin is of the utmost importance of Brooks. He will be fancying that particular task right now.
If he does qualify Bradley Brooks tonight, is it a bigger shock than Ted Everett's qualifying the way he did? They'll certainly like to do it the hard way if that is the case.
80.
If he qualifies from this position after the position Ted Everett was in, I just give up on logic.
I thought you were going to say give up on commentary then.
76.
You wish.
Come on, Bradley. I'd have made a sign.
81.
Whether he qualifies or not, I think Bradley Brooks is quite hard on himself. And even if he does qualify, I think it'd be disappointing the way the past 2 days. It was interesting the term he used. He felt flat yesterday. That's up to you. That's within. That's your attributes to motivate yourself. This is a big tournament to be in. And I don't think you should ever feel
81.
flat. There's no reasons behind that. If there's no crowd, you know the circumstances when you get in here.
How do you go about changing that
43.
as a result? Is it in terms of prep or?
Talent is 50%. The other 50% comes from within you. You have to learn to train your mind if you want to be an elite player, if you want to be a winner. He has the talent. You don't become world youth champion for nothing. Like you said, he's still 24-year-old. His career is just beginning.
60. Bradley Carr 126.
Well, this game could be nearing an end very, very quickly because Brooks is in full control of proceedings. However, could do with a treble
58.
here. In an okay suit, but Smith with a couple of trebles may change the complexion of this second leg.
64.
Doesn't often give too much away, does Jeff Smith? But if this was a cartoon, there'd be steam coming out of his ears right now. It's tops for a 2-0 lead for Bradley Brooks.
48.
We talked about the fact not only a win, but a big win. Will he be back?
These finishes are very much in the Smith wheelhouse, but he's not going to reel in the 158.
100.
Brooks
Bradley
almost
Carr,
expected
20.
it to go after the first treble wed tin. It's double 10 again for him.
Game shot on the
2-0
second
to
leg.
Brooks.
Bradley Brooks.
The live check of the league
Third leg,
table
Jeff,
looks
to
as
throw
follows.
first. Game on.
Brooks 6 points minus 3 legs difference. If Bradley wins
51.
3-0, he'll be on 6 points minus 2 with 16 legs won. And so that would mean that Lipscombe would need just a
120.
solitary leg against Robert Thornton to progress through. But if Thornton won 3-0, because Bradley would have more legs won and minus 2 in terms of legs difference,
100.
it would mean that Bradley, by some way, some miracle, would make it through to the finale on Saturday evening.
96.
Well, I'm confused, so Bradley Brooks certainly won't know that permutation either. He may dig deep, even a little bit more, for Jeff Smith. An incredible disappointment.
60.
He was my pick for the week. That's how much I respect Jeff Smith. But I got excited as well when he said he's used to playing this double form up. But for me, that's been
95.
where it's gone downhill. He just hasn't got off quick enough.
If Brooks wins this game 3-0, Lipscombe will need 2 legs against the Fawn to
58.
progress through. However, first things first, Brooks has got to get to that 3-0 win, but he's very much on his way of doing so, but has to be careful here. Does not like Dart 1.
He'll certainly like Dart 2.
83.
Is that enough? Are we about to see a big score once again from Jeff Smith when he feels the leg is over? He is throwing the darts. Just a little bit too little too late. A huge chance for Brooks to give himself an opportunity for qualification. Treble 16 was the shot. Smith will be back.
42.
What's the
Jeff
play?
Carr, 92.
Bullseye or treble? He tends to go bullseye, but it goes treble here. Double 16. Now 2 8s.
Game
Brooks
shot on the
is in
third
peril.
leg. Jeff Smith.
Has to win this leg pretty much.
Fourth leg, Bradley to throw first. Game on.
If it is 3-1 Brooks, then the scenario doesn't
40.
really change. Lipscombe still need those couple of legs against Thornton. But if it goes 2-2, then Bam Bam is in a bit of
32.
a boo-boo situation.
$40.
In the very unlikely, well, we say before unlikely scenario, but Jeff Smith's getting himself back into this match. If he wins, he moves on to 6 points. Of course, he can still get
131.
on to 8 technically from this point.
$58.
Treading water again, Bradley Brooks.
Why does it feel like his last game of the night is following the same
45.
pattern of his first game of the night when he was leading 2-0 against Harrison, looking in control and then lost it 3-2? They may well feel like a similar air to this particular contest, but that's a
140.
well-crafted 140 just to put his nose back in front in this leg.
$133.
2 trebles apiece. It's swinging from one player to the next. 17s is not a bad shout.
56. Jeffrey Carr 160.
The 160 of Smith doesn't go. Brooks 167 to win it 3-1.
Battle of the car 167.
Well, this really would be a bam bam moment, wouldn't it?
It was a big ask at the best of times.
99. Jeffrey Carr 100.
When things aren't going for your way, your opponent's check out. It was 92 for Jeff Smith in the previous. He went the treble 16 route. I have no problems with that.
68.
This simply has to go.
To keep his hopes alive, Brooks wants tops. Brooks gets tops. And now he has to sit and wait and hope that the darting gods shine on him like they shone upon Ted Evans earlier on this afternoon. A bemusing, befuddling night for Bradley Brooks. A 3-1 win against Jeff Smith to end his evening's campaign. But he now has to sit and wait and hope that things go his way. He has to hope for a Thornton win, 3-1 or better after the break, and then hope for a Harrison win against Smith in the final game of the night. 2 more games to go. Thornton, Lipscombe the first, and that's live after this.
And welcome back to the Modus Super Series on what is a crucial part of this Group B campaign. 2 players who have put themselves in a good position for qualification. And for Adam Lipscombe, all he needs is 2 legs. That will guarantee him qualification for tomorrow. However, failure to do that, Adam Lipscombe is out, and that brings the equation of Bradley Brooks into qualification. For Robert Thornton, he has looked really good tonight. He'll fancy his chances. His experience could come through in this game, but it really is a pick 'em. It's smiles all around right now, but a massive game, Henry Deacon.
Well, 2 players that need to leave it out there. Thornton, fairly much there. Lipscombe will put himself there and will end all hope for everybody else. With win in this particular match. So game 9 of 10 on this Friday night at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth.
First leg,
This
Roberts is through first.
game 24-25.
Game on.
That we've been broadcasting to you over the last 13 hours or so. Thornton off first up in the first leg of this match.
79.
The big question is, how will Adam respond to the pressure now?
Yeah,
60.
I was about to say exactly the same. And that disappointment with that match start as well in his previous game against Andreas Harrison. That's how you respond to that. I think he'll have
60.
identified this game as a possible winner takes all. It hasn't gone exactly that way. I'm not 100% sure they know fully what they would require. But it's been a funny old group.
134.
Good start to the leg from Robert Thornton. It just seems to get to Saturday nights.
85.
11 times he's been here, 9 qualifications for a Saturday night. I won't harp on the fact he has yet to win in a weekly event, Robert.
83.
But questions were asked for him on Monday, how his form was. Whatever happens this week,
100.
I think Robert will be delighted at his
45.
performance, especially the way he's bounced back tonight.
Treble 15. Would have given Thornton a dart at tops to win the opening leg.
93.
Now, you might be wondering what the situation would be if the players are level Lipscombe and Brooks in terms of legs differences and legs won, because there is a
40.
scenario that
Robert O'Connell,
if
52.
Thornton wins this game 3-1, both players would be in a situation where if it was all level, that
Being shot on the first
Lipscombe has
leg,
got the
Robert
better head-to-head of the pair. But Thornton 1 up, 1-0 to the good.
Second leg, Adam to through first. Game on.
Lipscombe will feel the pressure of this particular moment.
No score.
Yes, I've spoken a lot about the scenario, of course, of Adam Lipscombe, Bradley Brooks. I don't know if it was missed, but the fact that Bradley Brooks won that previous game guaranteed our 5th player into Saturday night in Robert Thornton.
90.
Down to the wire again.
Being an 11th appearance in a Saturday night scenario for the Fawn, yet to win on a Saturday evening in the Super Series format.
135.
And you keep reminding him that in interviews.
Well, it's become a running joke between myself and Robert now that whenever we see each other for the first time in a week, he makes a bit of a joke about it. You're not going to mention that again, are you? Of course I am, Robert.
140.
Well, this is a big exchange for Lipscombe and for Brooks. It's 88.
120. Robert Carr.
He's left out a couple of times tonight. Another superb. Will he be back? Yes, he will. Every leg is huge right now.
28. Adam Carr,
I'm not
16.
so sure Adam Lipscombe knows exactly what the scenario is, but that is gold dust.
Leg, Adam Lipscombe.
Leg away. 1 leg away.
Third leg, Robert to through
This
first.
place
Game on.
will be packed to the rafters tomorrow evening if Lipscombe qualifies.
Yeah, the local player. I thought he was brilliant
41.
in the influencer event previously. To do something on an individual basis, to pick up a double trouble title.
No score.
For a player, many saying he's on the up. He's got all the tools of the trade to go a long way. But Robert Thornton just knows how to grind out results. He's like granite when you play him. He's jumping around, he's throwing his arms about. Lipscombe will just have to focus on his job, and he's doing that mighty fine.
120.
And Robert Thornton's probably a player you don't want to play in this type of scenario because, as you say, he's got this dogged determination and beating him does
100.
not come easy. He's closing in.
Yeah, just a reminder, 2 legs is all that Adam Lipscombe needs for qualification. Would have our full lineup then.
128. $97. Robert Carr, 151.
So 104 again for Lipscombe, and he's going to get a look at it to send himself through.
100. Robert Carr, 104.
Beautiful last half from Thornton. Tops for qualification.
84. Robert Carr, 51.
He's had his moment. He hopes and prays for a miss.
31.
And he gets his wish.
20.
Big moment.
Game show
Adam Lipscombe qualifies for Saturday night. We officially have our 6 players. And what an event that will be. And fair play to him. He pats himself on the thigh there. Remember the situation last night. Adam Lipscombe in his first 3 games lost all 3. Things were looking bleak. He had that late win over Bradley Brooks. He's been superb tonight. He had a little bit of a wobble in his previous game against Andreas Harrison, but he needed 2 points against the very impressive Robert Thornton.
40.
And Henry, our lineup is confirmed.
Yeah, baby boy beats Bam Bam to the big night.
60.
And get your tickets for tomorrow night, because I am sure Adam Lipscombe will be bringing an awful lot of people. He is the local player.
45.
And that guarantees us a fantastic night.
Get that QR code up. Get it up. There it is. Lipscombe's army, I'm sure, will be scanning that QR code on their mobile phones and smart devices as we speak.
96.
That was a little bit rude of you to speak to the team like that, if you don't mind me saying. I wonder where Devon Peterson is. Come and grab him and drag him out again,
45.
please.
I was talking to the QR code. I wasn't talking to our team. Do you realise it can just magically appear and disappear by itself?
100.
By his body language, Henry, do you think he knows he's qualified?
Oh, yes.
Do you really?
45.
The shoulder, I think the shoulder looks relaxed, and there was a little puff of the cheeks as he got the second leg.
81. $60. Robert Carr, 139.
Certainly the adrenaline in this game is eked out since Lipscombe's got that second leg on the board.
59.
Yeah, it's been a fabulous day of darts, hasn't it? Full of drama. But I think the right 6 have qualified.
98. Robert Carr, 80.
Robert Thornton will be one of those players. He's been superb tonight.
Thornton with a crack at 80. Tops.
60. Adam Carr, 93.
Just the 2 legs he needed, remember. But this is for victory. Sensational treble 19. Double 9.
84. Robert Carr, 20.
So Robert Thornton to take us to 2-2. Double 5. Still double 5. This time he finds. And we go to leg 5.
Fifth and final leg, Robert to throw first. Game on.
Remember, one more game to go after this. Andreas Harrison and Jess Smith will round off our Group B campaign. But what is Robert Thornton up to here at the beginning of leg 5?
Can we see something special on
60.
a day full of drama? Whenever Robert Thornton is on the stage in a double start, big things happen. Not to be this time. Could be the latest ever 9 darter to have had double start.
123.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the World Grand Prix, there was some late finishes, but not
100.
12:30 late.
With just one game to go, Henry. Been a cracking week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good fun. It's been really good fun.
100.
But I can't let this go by without saying that we tipped 2 players in this group, Bradley Brooks and Jess Smith, and they're both not going to be there. Although
60.
I did say Lipscombe
Robert
before
Carr,
dart was thrown this week.
118.
Yeah, I never heard you say Bradley Brooks, though. I'm on your side. You did say Lipscombe would qualify. My run of good picks has gone, thanks to Jeff Smith. Not that I'll dare go and tell him
78.
right now, but Robert Thornton is such a delight to see him there tomorrow night as well. You never know. This could be the final.
Tops of the match. Both players will be
105.
into
Robert
tomorrow
Carr,
night's
40.
final. And it looks like Thornton's going to finish off his campaign with a win. Double 10. Seals
shot
it
of
for
the
the
match,
4 on a
Robert
14 darter in the decider. He gets a bit of Adam Lipscombe 3-2. He didn't win the match, but he's won his place through to tomorrow night's final. Has the baby boy, the Fawn, with his 11th appearance in a Saturday night final. And that's how the pair have done in their final game of the group. So Andreas Harrison and Jess Smith is a battle between top and bottom in this group. And they will slug it out, sling it out in the midnight match after this.
Fabulous start from the young man. Right. World Youth Champion. Oh, what a response that is from his father. Back-to-back 140s. Siding leg of 7. My goodness, back-to-back 180s. Well, we've seen 2 9s in last year's Modus League. Seen a couple of 10s. Not seen a 9 yet. In the Online Darts Live League. Double 19. Double 12 for the 9. And he gets the 9. What a way to win.
B would be a contains the 5 players. 3 progress to Saturday's final.
60.
Of course, that emphasis is on qualifying for Saturday night's final.
Because the the runner-up, and the winner of the 3rd and 4th place playoff will get their crack at Champions League.
180.
Trying to get their hands
At £7,000 first prize.
45.
Some of you on the forums are here.
180.
Oh, welcome back, Martin.
Where have you been? Where did you go?
100. Martin, you require 141.
Double 12.
Yay,
Absolutely outstanding
Martin
from
Adams.
Martin Adams as he hits a 9-darter.
And so, the final game of the day here at the Modus Super Series. And it sees Jess Smith and Andreas Harrison go toe-to-toe, top versus bottom in the group. This is how the table looks going into it. Andreas Harrison, the winner, 12 points to his name. Robert Thornton on 10. Adam Lipscombe has picked Bradley Brooks to the post in terms of the final spot into tomorrow evening, or shall I say tonight's final, as we enter the realms of, 12:30 in the morning? As we head into our final match of the day, Andreas Harrison against Jess Smith. Sweden versus Canada. And I'll tell you what, Glenn, I'm going to give you a late night fun fact, because I know how much you like a late night fun fact. Did you know, once upon a time, Sweden and Canada were the two most friendliest nations on Earth? They were known as the two nicest nations. And when they were given that honour by the UN, they actually used to give it back to one another. It was a case of, to me, to you, to me, to you. But who, in this particular tungsten duel, is going to taste success?
Well, no, the Modus Super Series, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Jeff Smith.
Game on.
Even with a 3-0. I mean, I'm just looking at the league table there. Bradley Brooks will be looking, thinking, you know, 1 or 2 legs here and there to be enough to qualify. But Andreas Harrison,
120.
I fully expect him to be right in the mix tomorrow night. I'm sure the plan for him. And for Jeff Smith, what you're witnessing right now has been the issue, getting off.
56.
If he is going to come back to another specials week of double trouble, that might be an area he'll want to look back on and try and improve. But Andreas Harrison has been the star of the show in this at times disappointing Group B.
100.
But he has the levels, he has the ceiling. And he could be lifting that title tomorrow. He's going to go in there as one of the bookies' favourites.
You talk about players
100.
in specials weeks. I hope you've got your thinking cap on ahead of what I'm about to ask you in a few moments' time. We'll do that in the next leg. Harrison in control of leg 1.
100.
He even himself on 101 after 9.
$100. Andreas Vakar, 101.
Smith nowhere to be seen. Is this leg TBC in the possession of Andreas Harrison? Of course it is. 101, 12 darter. Harrison up and running in typically Andreas Harrison style.
Yeah, long week. Yet he's still able to pull out a 12 darter like that. He's a fabulous watch, is Andreas Harrison. This match playing at a fantastic pace.
113.
Right, I've got my thinking cap on. Come on then, Henry.
Well, we are going to have another double trouble in 2025. Now, we've seen a great cast list of 12. Seen a great darty dozen this week. However, of the players eligible to play in the Super Series, who would you like to see 57. In a double trouble week?
The majority of players are, who are the top players? Wesley Plaisir, I'd expect him to go through Q School.
61.
Andy Bolton's always a great addition. Andy Hamilton, I enjoy on the Modus Super Series stage. Darryl Pilgrim. When you think of the Modus Super Series, you think of him. So there's so many names out there. But
55.
I do think they've got the balance right this time. I think it's been a great week.
Let me give you a few names that I wouldn't mind seeing in a double trouble.
140.
In double trouble 3, which will be full of glee. Steve West. Justin Smith.
180.
And I would love to see Andy Bolton in one of these.
Yeah, Matthew Edgar, I think he'd be terrific in this. Just to see him get brushed would be a...
44.
No, it would have been nice to him, actually.
96.
No need to be nice to Jeff Smith. This has been a beautiful leg of darts. To bounce back after that first leg
96.
and the type of night he's had. I guess he's got a day off tomorrow now, Jeff, before he heads off to sell. So a busy few days coming. But he'd be disappointed not to get there tomorrow night.
40.
And I guess for the neutral, having Lipscombe as well there tomorrow, we should have a big crowd in here.
Indeed, we should. Smith levels this game up 1-1 in our final game of the group.
Third leg, Andreas is through first. Game on.
And of course, we're going to have some new names in the contract. You're going to depart us tomorrow. Mr. Edgar's going to come and join us, and we're going to have the commentary debut on Sunday of Cam Crabtree, who's very much looking forward to commentating on the Influencers event on Sunday afternoon. He'd be a great addition to our broadcast team.
56.
Of course, Devon Peterson will be joining us very soon. Hopefully he'll keep his hands off me this time.
140.
Yes, don't slip up with a date like I did.
$131.
Well, have we left one of the best games of this Group B campaign to last? A dead rubber, a term that Henry used earlier. Nothing to play for either
60.
one. But both producing the goods here. Very enjoyable and at a pace
That suits both.
44.
What Harrison would give for another trouble to give him another go at a one-on-one check out, not to be, but we know he's capable of things like the 146.
100. Andreas Ricard, 146.
Players on big finishes. Smith on the fish, Harrison a 146. And Smith is going to get a go at the big fish. We've never seen it in double trouble. Could the silencer make a big noise by reeling in the big fish? No.
96. Andreas Ricard, 89.
Starting the 19s. I don't think I've ever seen Andreas miss so many big numbers. However, he's bounced back with a treble 18. Can't see it out. And Jeff Smith a chance to lead this match 2-1. He lost the opening leg, remember. Double 10.
Up for fives and inside. 69. And Harrison gets 3 more. Double 8 to 16. Move himself 2-1 up. No mistake. Right in the middle of the lipstick. Harrison 2-1 up.
4th leg, Jeff to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, it's nice to hear the players talking about. We heard Richie Burnett in that interview earlier saying he's really enjoyed the company. And when you come to the Modus Super Series and you've got guys, you know, in the players area where they're telling stories, they're having fun. It's just nice. Did you see the little fist bump between the pair? It hasn't gone well for Jeff Smith tonight. Yeah, he's still got the class about him just to give a little fist bump there to Andreas.
Well, I suppose somebody's got to enjoy other people's company this week, haven't they? Have you enjoyed my company, Glenn?
Yes, I've enjoyed working with Chris Murphy, to be fair.
No score.
However, despite whatever happens this week, I have a feeling that, oh my God, it's
75.
Baby Boy who's going to bite me on the bottom.
Yeah, the only acting I've ever seen worse is, have you ever seen
54.
that scene in Hollyoaks with the 2 Pritchards, AJ and Curtis?
Did you see your reaction with the Devon? It took us 9 takes on the Devon Peterson one.
55.
We were waiting for you to say, all you had to say was, he's not the sexiest man in darts no more. You messed that up. You were on the floor. Come on, Henry.
57.
As we all know.
Oh, Henry.
See, you with your accents, Glenn. You're wasted. You're wasted in a commentary box.
$60.
Is this the moment for Harrison? One really big score here.
$85.
Just creeps into the treble. Jeff a ton 40 behind. And the story of the night is when the leg's been finished, Jeff has been producing his best darts.
95.
But once again, too little, too late. Andreas Harrison 6 darts away from another victory.
Well, Billie Jean King famously said pressure is a privilege, and the pressure will be on
95.
Andreas. It's his huge reputation tomorrow night to add the double trouble title to his weekly win, his Champions Week win, the last leg
100.
of a Super Series Triple Crown.
100.
And he's looking for a ton here to crown this campaign off. Tops. It's a win for Harrison. He has been the dominant force in this Group B, and he ends with a dominant display, silencing the silencer, who has had a couple of days of toil and turmoil. At the tail of the tape from the final game of this Group B, Andreas Harrison running out a 3-1 winner against Jeff Smith. He is through to tomorrow night's final alongside Robert Thornton, alongside the hometown hero, the baby boy, Adam Lipscombe. Myself and Glenn Turrett on the other side of... Well, no, actually, we're going to have a chat with Adam Lipscombe, aren't we, on the other side of this short break?
Welcome back to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
And he was right. Van Velzen's had opportunity, but it's Steve West that takes his opportunity. Does he get one this time? The jury's out. Is the double in? Listen to that! And Jimmy Van Ski is still alive! He's made it! And Marvin Van Velzen! Jimmy Van Ski probably felt he's already been out already tonight. Surely not again. Oh, Jimmy! It's a wry smile. What a finish! What a man! What a response!
Of the 5-time weekly champion.
It's Jimmy Van Ski who makes the final!
Are we, Jimmy?
You bet we are! One leg to see who the champ is. Yes, he can! Marvin is the man! Marvin Van Velzen!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where our Friday night's worth of action has been completed. It was a night filled with drama, but a night which has seen Andreas Harris and company make his way through, and he's been joined by Robert Thornton and Adam. This is how the results for tonight's session went. This is how the players made their way through. It began and ended with a win for Andreas Harrison, but in the middle of it was a night littered with tension, with drama, but it's a very good night for the local hero Adam Lipscombe, who's made his way through to the finale, and he joins me here in the studio now. Adam, many congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
Through to tomorrow night's final, but goodness me, that must have felt like hard work out there.
Oh, mate, honestly, last night it was like, I felt I missed a lot of opportunities, but then I was more worried about getting in than getting out, and then when it comes to getting out, it was like, I made hard work of it. Same again tonight for a couple of games, but...
Have you found the difference with the format with it being double in?
To be fair, I never really play it. It was just one of the things. A lot of people say, "Oh, do you practice doubles?" I was like, "I'm not going to practice. Just do the same thing I do all the time, and hopefully get in every time." And then I did last night. I literally went mad, and then it was like drifting into the 5 a lot. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I got there in the end.
So after last night, going into tonight, what was the thoughts, the mindset, the mentality? What did you think you needed to do to get through?
Well, last night I thought just win one game, and then I played quite well against Brad. I say I missed opportunities against Rob yesterday, and the same against Andreas and Jeff. And I thought just go in tonight, just enjoy yourself, and just do your own thing, and then just sort of paid off.
So, through to tomorrow night's final. It was that game against Robert Thornton that sealed your place. You needed 2 legs in that game to qualify. Did you know about that scenario?
I didn't, no. It was a bit like, I thought I need to win it to guarantee it. And then it was like, against Andreas, I thought if I beat Andreas when I had the chance, then I'll make lighter work of it sort of thing. I thought might be all right. And then obviously lost to him. I was like, oh, mate, just try and beat Robert. And then when I lost to Robert, I was like, oh. See how it goes with against Jeff and Andreas in the last game, and as I come out, I got told I was through, and I was like, oh, buzzing.
This is becoming a bit of a regular occurrence, because it did take you a little while, a few appearances to get a grasp of getting through to a Saturday, but it's becoming a bit more of a regular thing now. Do you feel like you're more in the groove, in the mojo of this event now than perhaps you were?
I think it was more believing in my ability. Do you know what I mean? Like I was always thinking that they're a lot better players. I've seen Robert on TV when I was younger, and a lot of other people. I think, I ain't be able to beat them guys. I was like, hopefully I'll get a leg. Do you know what I mean? But the more I met people, the more I started talking, they was like, just believe in yourself and you'll be all right. And then obviously Neil was saying, I think it was Wednesday. He said I'll get through, and then he messaged me last night saying, get yourself out of the 5s and get yourself stuck in, and you'll be all right. And I was like, I've got a lot of time for Neil.
What does it mean to have somebody like Neil, who's won a WDF World Championship, saying things like that about you?
Oh, it's mental, mate. Like I say, I'd never expect it. A couple of years ago, before I come back to playing darts, I wouldn't expect Neil Duff to be messaging me saying can't make it stuck in, do you know what I mean? Or even like saying he's going to get through Saturday night. Like, it's weird. It is weird. It's still weird now that it's saying, like, seeing certain people when they talk to you and they go, all right, Ad, you all right, mate? I think, I don't even know my name, do you know what I mean? But it's good.
Right, we're going to have another chat with you in just a second. We're just going to round up what else we've seen. We're going to begin by having a look at the league table because Andreas Harrison made his way through. He's top of the group. He won 7 of his 8 matches to qualify himself. Robert Thornton in second position on 10 points. As a matter of fact, Andreas Harrison was the only player in the group to have a positive legs difference. Adam Lipscombe in third, just about getting the edge over Bradley Brooks in the end, and Jess Smith at the bottom of the table. So we now know the 6 players that are through to tomorrow night's final, and this is how the tournament bracket breaks down. Neil Duff won Group A on Wednesday. Richie Burnett and somehow Ted Evans made it through Group C this afternoon. And of course, we've seen those 3 players in the middle of your screen there making it through Group B earlier on this evening. Look, Adam, hometown hero, in a final in your hometown of Portsmouth. It's going to be a bit lively near tomorrow, isn't it?
I hope so, mate. Yeah, I can't wait to turn the phone on and see what's going down. Because even last night after the little promo, come out, turn my phone, I was like, ping, 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 ping. I was like, here we go. It was funny all day today. But yeah, it'll be good tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to give you a little look at the groups for tomorrow night. This is how it breaks down tomorrow evening. You're going to be placed with Andreas Harrison and Richie Burnett. That's difficult to say the least.
Oh, you ain't wrong, mate. No, yeah.
Welcome to final. The other group, incidentally, Neil Duff, Robert Thornton, Terry. So to be perfectly honest, it didn't really matter where you were situated.
I'm just here, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's it. I'm just here, play my darts, and then, yeah, see how it goes, yeah.
In fact, what we were speaking about a little bit earlier on, when you go into a night like that, you see the names that are in the field. Are you allowed just to free roll and just enjoy the experience?
That's what we're sort of trying to do, yeah. My missus always says to me, put your shoulders down and just throw your darts and you'll be all right. And then it's just trying to get your tin of beans, you know what I mean? Once I get that right, I'll be all right, I think, yeah.
Well, you're into tomorrow night's final. Adam,
Buzzing,
congratulations.
mate.
Just finally, have you seen that VT? The baby boy VT?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Glenn Dummons acting. A, B, C, D, ungraded?
I was brilliant, mate, yeah. And like I say, for someone like Glenn to be acting on that, considering where, like, do you know what I mean? He's like a Premier League winner, do you know what I mean? Oh, it's mental, mate. Still, like, say, people like talk about it out of my way. Like, you got Glenn Durant in the same sort of video. Oh, it's just surreal. It's good.
Well, the good news is we're going to play it again in just a second. And many, many congratulations on seeing you tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow night as well. 7:30 we kickstart on the Super Series YouTube channel, where as far as our qualifiers are concerned, well, Dirty Harrison's through, the Fawns there. And oh my God, it's the baby boy too!
2 tremendous players, and the trebles are absolutely flying in for another maximum. And he gets a 180. Bradley Brooks, bam, bam. Jeff Smith, how can he follow that? He looks focused. Oh, what's happened here?
Oh, what's going on?
This was not in the plan. Look at the players.
Yeah, something's going on here. What on earth is happening?
I'm not sure what it's all about. Oh my God, it's the baby boy!